You know it, KD and Laughing Stock niggas got that voice. In this crazy world, we gotta make a choice. They say our logic swishy, but we're making noise from the top of the charts. Here the people's rejoice. Stop being buck munchers, just get swishy with us. Join the laughter wave, make a fuss. Stop being buck munchers, just get swishy with us. Join the laughter wave, make a fuss.
You forgot to let the thumbnail down.
I didn't put the I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. The way it is sometimes.
We have made it no matter what anyway.
I'm coming to you dressed like Steve Irwin today. Camo trousers or cargo shorts.
It's like not camo.
Or cargo shorts, I should say.
Yeah, it's like
and fucking
desert camo more.
Yeah, desert camo and olive drab clothing.
Olive drab, yeah.
I look like I'm a bit ready to stick my thumb up a croc's asshole.
No, you look like you're getting ready to go into an army death battle, but half of the landscape is jungle and the other half is desert. And you're like, I'm not too sure where I'm going to be.
It's a desert environment with lots of waist-high shrubs.
Actually, I was learning about desert environments that are reforesting themselves through, like, a lot of it is through rabbit poo. I was trying to explain to my friend the other day how, well, just because mushrooms get eaten all the time doesn't mean they're not taking over the world, because that helps them spread.
Yeah.
And then brought me on to this rabbit, because rabbits, when they eat something, like most of it doesn't get digested.
Yeah, they're
so
shit at
spread
it.
around. But they're also great at agriculture for that reason.
Yeah.
So that's what they did.
They also eat all the crops, so it's sort of a
not these
sword.
ones. Not these ones.
No.
A different one. They eat, like, these are the kind of rabbits that eat like some of the little animals and shit around.
Oh right, so they're predatory bunnies.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Or is it that
there's predatory deer? Did you know that?
Predatory what?
Deer.
Doesn't surprise.
There's a type of deer in Japan that's got like fangs that it can flick out, and it'll eat small birds and rodents.
Damn, the world's fucking.
Well, it's crazy,
brutal.
bro. Well, don't give a shit. Nature's crazy.
Everything's brutal in the world. And nature may be crazy, but so is the world of crime, as we've learned a few times, and even more so, the world of impossible crime, where it's like, how the fudge did that happen?
Oh, what, like that Now You See Me movie?
No.
That's impossible crime shit.
Well, you know what? Actually,
it's impossible to your mind.
Actually, you know what? Yes, actually.
Illusionary.
That's essentially what this is. It could be a magic trick, and we're just seeing it from the outside.
I get the feeling that as you describe it more and more, it's going to seem less like a magic trick and more like a horrific murder. But yeah.
Hey, man, the two are mutually exclusive.
No, that's true. I mean, have you ever seen The Prestige?
No, but
he kills himself like 50 times in that movie.
Oh, yeah, doesn't he come back to life each time?
Yeah, well, he clones himself using Nikola Tesla's cloning machine.
Naturally.
To imitate a trick that someone else does. Spoilers for The Prestige. And it turns out that Christian Bale's literally just a twin, and they just don't tell you the entire movie.
Wait, how does that work? You just said he was cloning himself?
Because Christian Bale's guy's got a teleportation act, and no one knows how he does it. Seems impossible.
Yeah.
And the reason why is just because there's two Christian Bales.
I mean, that makes sense.
But Hugh
Jackman is the one who clones himself. Okay.
Yeah, wants to try and get, like, one-up him. So he goes to extreme lengths to try and find a way to do it. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And the way he finds to do it is to go to Nikola Tesla and find this weird cloning machine, right, that's supposed to be a teleporter, but it doesn't just teleport you. What it does is it teleports one person over there, and it also just leaves the other one.
Well, we've kind of said that would be the only way to teleport would really work, in my eyes, anyway. Because it would copy and send... At least it's not killing the first one, I guess.
Yeah, I mean...
Like most would, I think.
That's true. It does seem more logical to, not, like, always burn yourself down before the previous one's been made. Or the next one's been made, I should say.
Yeah. I'd rather not burn myself down at all. That's the problem. I'd rather keep me.
That sounds like a you problem.
It does.
Get into a different Christopher Nolan movie. Maybe Inception would suit you better.
Tenet.
Although, to be fair, that seems like a shit one as well.
Tenet suits me better.
Tenet?
Yeah, because nobody understands it.
That's fair.
Like me, baby.
Yeah.
I'm a mystery among mortals. So is ectoplasm, but
Yeah.
Hi, I'm also Kd Hink and your comedic babyface and everybody's favourite laughing stock as my mic goes away from me. I'm joined as always by my comedy cohort. Introduce yourself to the people.
I'm a very, very, very driving exhausted Nathan Parish.
I'm a walking exhausted. What's worse?
I honestly, they're sort of different. It's the same thing as like
It is different.
there's stamina. There's 2 stamina bars in the human body. I
Right.
think there's one for your mind and one for your body.
Yeah,
And driving
yeah.
is all mind, bro. It's all mind.
Okay.
It's just my head is just filled with red lights and people driving too slowly. It's
You also strike me as somebody that can let themselves get stressed on the road, though.
yeah.
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 See, I would be the
Because
exact
everyone
opposite.
else is so bad at it, Carl.
I know, but I
They're
expect that.
so bad at driving.
I expect that anyway.
That means you as well. That's right, you. Not you, the other one. That's you.
See, then you pointed at the camera, and I'd still forgotten the camera was over there. Still, I was like, "Where the fuck did you point at?
Yeah,
There's
I
someone
know.
in the doorway I don't
Just-
know
just
about."
pointing at the cat. To be fair, the cat is a shit driver.
She would
crashed
be.
like 8 times when I gave her my car keys.
Okay, that also sounds like a you problem, but
Seems to me like it's a you problem. I put her on the insurance.
actually, no, that's an insurance problem.
There's
Then
an
they
insurance
took
problem
it.
there.
Yeah, yeah, we'll take this cat onto the what's it called?
You just make up some names and numbers and they say yes.
So Twinkle could either be a cat or like a drag artist. To be fair,
It could be.
I can imagine a drag artist being called Twinkle.
Twinkle McTits.
There you go,
That's a drag name.
Twinkle McBig Tits.
Yeah.
Don't know why I added the extra big tits on there, but you know.
I think it works. And the ironic thing is, they'd have a giant arse. But small
why?
tits.
Just because just because they're a drag man doesn't mean they got a giant arse. I've been famously told.
They
I've
don't
been
have to. This
famously
one
for
does.
me.
That's the whole point.
I was going to say I've been famously told for me that I have no ass,
Oh, I don't have an arse.
and all this time I've been
I'm a
like,
fat dude with no arse. Do you know what that's like?
that's weird.
It's weird. You look like a frog. You lift my
Yeah.
arms up in the
That
mirror
makes
in the
sense.
morning. It's just like belly in front.
That makes sense. Just because the muscles that you have away for frogs. So
Yeah.
that's quite an funny. I never thought of that.
Yeah.
Never heard that before either.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, mate. I look like a bulldog standing up trying to get food.
You should use that on stage,
Mhm.
describing yourself. That's a good analogy. That is.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, I mean,
I
I've
look
always
like
been-
Elon Musk.
I've never understood those. That's a bit
I'm not
much.
that bad.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
Yeah.
She's weird. Or I hope
He's
those,
weirdly.
I hope those
weirdly
pictures are photoshopped though. A lot of them.
shaped. Yeah, but he's still a barrel-chested weirdo.
Yeah. That's the cloning, man. It's only so good. Okay.
Well, yeah. I
You know.
mean, you're gonna have some genetic flaws, aren't
Exactly. You got to give it time. Eventually, it'll catch up.
Yeah.
That's why he doesn't walk around topless most of the time. That one shouldn't have done it, but when it gets vertical,
you? Yeah. When it overheats,
when it overheats,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
all the Neuralink stuff. Jesus, you got to get your head in a bucket of water quick.
No, I think I left my bag out there. 1 sec.
The only way to reset, that would be amazing. The only way to reset a fucking Neuralink is to waterboard yourself. Oh, what? You're having a glitch with it? Don't worry. Just lie down. Place your head back. I'm not going to describe the whole thing actually, because that's probably going to get us banned from a few places. Just the mentioning of waterboarding has probably done something. I suppose I should probably call it something else, like water sporting, but that's an entirely different thing that no one wants to talk about. Oh, mate. It's a bad time. It's a bad time if you want to know what people are talking about on the internet, because you can never know this anymore. Like, you know, there's so many different versions as well of what people talk about. Some of them, you know, add the G on the R word to make it a graping. You know, you got all these different ways of doing it, and then someone else says, oh, it's this, and then someone else says it's that. It's all acronyms and shit, and everyone's got different choices for the acronyms. For the fucking, you know, not saying the wrong things on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy, man.
I mean,
We always talk about that, but I can't believe it.
I mean, to be fair though, yeah, we are currently on YouTube, which is why I tried, like at the beginning, to say a few non-swears. Apparently,
I said
it's still,
waterboarding, though. We're done.
I don't think, but apparently, it's still. I still keep hearing people say that it's within the first couple of minutes. I don't see how, but big ones still seem to go by, and they're the ones that would notice if their money's getting affected.
It's true.
So I'm like, okay, well maybe.
Yeah.
I still don't think it matters. I think they just hate us because of the shit we talk about and the language we use. It is true. But, you know, it's there anyway.
That's
More
the
for
way
the
it
Facebook. When we do it on Restream, it's the Facebook people that are there. It's the Facebook people that, you know, like, always watch.
Them Facebook peeps. Probably 50% of them are AI now.
I don't know about that. Why would AI bots click on this? That makes no sense.
That's fair. Yeah.
Why?
Unless you're paying them to, which we distinctly do not do.
Oh yeah,
As
what?
you can tell.
I'd love to figure out a way to actually like pay things so that it's like out there more. Not bots, but so that it's just out there
Well, it's
more.
advertising.
Yeah.
Early to bed, early to rise, work like hell and advertise.
Please never say that again.
That's a quote, mate. That.
Oh, I guess that.
It's a proper quote.
Oh, it's a proper quote.
I think that might be a Teddy Roosevelt quote.
Ugh.
It's either that or Ben Franklin. I can't remember.
They both like young girls.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know, but they probably do.
So did Robert Plant. So did fucking
Yeah.
Elvis. So did fucking
Muhammad.
Muhammad. So did fucking.
I always used to think that Muhammad was like, don't touch the girl until she's over 9, or at
By the
least
way-
she's bleeding. But that's not true.
Yeah. By
They
the way,
used to put stuff in between the legs.
making any excuses for it. Don't do that shit. But just.
I don't think anyone has ever listened
Yeah.
to us and thought we're making excuses for Islam or any of that.
No, Islam, but like the paedophilia explicitly, like.
Well, considering that's my main problem with Islam, I think it's pretty
Well,
obvious.
yeah.
Like, I will go out of my way to talk about how much I dislike Islam because even it's not racist. I don't care. It's not racist. But you guys, some people are dumb enough to think
It's
it is.
religious.
Yeah, sure, exactly. That's okay with that. Yeah, 'cause technically, it's not a race,
It's
really,
religion.
because any race can be a Muslim. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So we technically, no, it's not prejudice because that's country, isn't it?
I suppose you could say prejudice.
Yeah, religionist. That should be a thing. You're right. That should be a
Religionist
thing.
Should be a thing.
It really should be.
Yeah.
Because when you're like insulting someone for being black, they can be the same religion as you.
Yeah.
But that's just because you dislike them because they're black. That's
Yeah.
not. That's really true. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
That's not the same as religion at all. There really
Also,
should be a
there's
separate
another
word.
thing. There's another step you can take.
There's
from there,
anti-Semitism and stuff.
where you go, oh well, look at all the dirty shit the Catholic Church has done, and
Mm.
there's more and more shit coming out constantly, even though they say they've changed. So you can just blanket look across the board and say, they're all bullshit.
They really are.
They're all bullshit, and they're all doing shit they shouldn't do to people's children. Literally all of them.
Well, not all of them.
No, they are.
Not literally. I think we'll have to take that back. Not literally all of them.
No, literally all of the religions, not all of the people within the religion.
Oh, okay. All of the religions.
Again, this is the separation.
Okay. There's some example within each
I
religion.
don't hate you. I hate your stupid fucking ideas.
Yeah.
You see?
Which some people will mean to take as I hate you. And it's like if you
want to take it that way,
if you literally base
you
your whole
can't-
whole personality around that
Yeah.
religion, then yeah, fair
and you
enough, I hate
can't divide yourself from it in any way, shape, or form, then yes.
And only if you're of the fanatical side.
Yeah.
If you're of one of the people that are normal,
If you're just a
every
person
day,
preaching it who loves it and you're fucking
like
such
the
a
nice stuff, but you
Yeah.
accept some of the stuff isn't great. So at the very least, you just ignore that and go on ignoring that.
Yeah.
And fair enough. I get that. That's probably
Yeah.
the most we can do with most religions: ignore the stuff we don't
100%.
like.
There's so much stuff in the
Yeah.
fucking Christian Bible that's
Oh, yeah.
just abhorrent.
Yeah, I don't follow that either.
Yeah.
I don't follow none of this shit.
Yeah.
Maybe Buddhism would be the only one I'd go to.
Buddhism's rad as fuck.
Fat slap my belly. And
Buddhism
celebrate
is
anything.
rad as fuck.
Yeah, man, it's super chill.
Yeah. It's literally just, hey man, make yourself better.
It's a mindset.
And it's like, what do you mean make yourself better? It's like, hey, make yourself better, man. However you choose to make yourself better, make yourself a little bit better. We're going to help you along the way. Hey, have you heard of this thing about meditation? It's really good for clearing your mind. Helps you make yourself better. It's just literally a fucking handbook of like, these are really good mindfulness techniques that you can use. And here's a bit of spirituality we shoved in alongside it.
As soon as they tell me, do this, I'm like, okay, well, calm down.
Yeah.
That's still too much for me. But like,
There's a lot of Buddhists who genuinely won't eat any meat at all.
Yeah, that's because they choose to do that, not
Yeah,
just
yeah.
because they're Buddhist. So
That's the thing. It's not. People think that's the thing that's all Buddhists.
No.
Not all Buddhists don't eat meat.
Mm.
There's certain sects that don't eat meat, and it
Some-
can be a choice that you make as a Buddhist to be like, I don't want to bring suffering to something that I know is a soul of.
and some things can only go half-assed, like half-assed bitchy vegetarians, like
Yeah.
Lisa Simpson.
Yeah.
Vegetarians are so like half-assed. At least vegans go for the full half.
I don't know. I think it's acceptable to want to have calcium in your diet.
Yeah, it is. But if you're doing that by eating a chicken's period, and
chicken's
you don't
period?
think chicken would be okay to eat, but you'll eat something that is a dead body.
What's wrong with eating a chicken's period?
I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but as a vegetarian, you should.
Why? Why should they see it as a problem?
'Cause that's a part of the chicken.
It's not a part of a chicken.
And what?
It's the chicken's leavings.
That will turn into another chicken.
No, it won't.
If you fertilise it, it would.
Yeah, but they're not fertilised.
Yeah, but if it did,
Instead, it's just a period.
still part of the chicken.
It's like you going like, oh, well, we can't flush down the period blood, sorry, babe, that's got to be buried. Like, no, it doesn't.
No, it just means don't eat it.
No, I'm literally saying.
Doesn't mean bury it.
If your girlfriend has a fucking period, you don't go, oh, well, we've got to wait till the egg comes out and treat it like it's a fucking child. No.
But I'm not a vegetarian.
Yeah, but that's probably not
And
helping.
you say it like that, but some
probably
people...
not helping your aim towards this, though, not being the thing that's thinking that way.
No, but some people think that you shouldn't, like, use contraception because that's wrong
Well, I think...
for that reason.
I
Like,
think
swallowing
that it
is killing things.
I think that it is wrong to use contraception. I think we should just throw people down the stairs like they did in the 50s.
Yeah, that's better.
Way cheaper.
And abortion is another thing that people think is terrible.
And that way, it gives them a little bit of a chance. You know, it's like, I'm going to push
We're
you
rolling the
downstairs.
dice.
Yeah. There's a
We'll
pretty
see what
good chance
happens.
it's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
But, if you survive, you know you're a tough one.
Yeah, tough baby. Or they
You
just,
may not think as well as you used to, but we can put you in an American football team.
I mean, they might just come out there like really tough, like, you know, some Down syndrome people.
Yeah.
Some Down syndrome people are tough.
They are.
Like, I've got a mate who was legitimately supposed to be born Down syndrome. Right
got-
up until when he was born, they told him he'd be Down... Well, they didn't tell
Yeah.
him. They told the parents he'd be Down syndrome.
Right.
And he was born and he just wasn't.
Right.
Yet he was, it's still to this day, ridiculously strong. Like,
Yeah.
just... He doesn't work out at all, but then he's just so much stronger than every one of us, like, substantially.
Yeah.
He's just a tough motherfucker, but he's also dumb as shit. But in the nicest way, Snow. Dumb as shit. He'll admit it. But he's like amazing with like electronics and stuff. You know, he can take shit apart, do all that shit. I'm a
Yeah.
fucking idiot with that stuff. I'm a tard, man.
Yeah.
I cannot do that shit at all.
Yeah.
Like, he was in all the lower classes in school and that, and I
Yeah.
was in all the higher ones, weirdly, because I'm a fucking idiot. But kick my ass at anything like practical.
Yeah.
He's also the guy that can pick up any fucking game.
And fuck you up.
It's fucking annoying. There's
I
only
know,
one game where I've
Yeah.
ever been as good as him, and that's the most any of us can ever hope to be,
Yeah.
as good as him.
In one game. That's the way as well. It's always one. I've got a mate called Foosh. Well, we call him Foosh because he used to eat these mints.
So always the people with the fucking nicknames,
Yeah,
ain't it?
yeah, it is.
Snowman.
Yeah, because the reason why we used to call him Foosh as well is because he used to get these mints which were called Foosh. And each mint, bear in mind, it was only a little, like, tiny mint, had the same amount of caffeine as an entire cup of coffee.
Oh,
And he used to eat racks of them. Like, just racks of these mints.
Oh.
He was so into caffeine, at one point he actually got himself a bag of pure caffeine. And it just looks like cocaine, because it is just a white powder in a bag.
Never even know the thing.
That's a thing you can get.
Surely
Pure
it's got to be like just worse cocaine.
Basically.
Just a cocaine that doesn't work
It's
as well.
actually more addictive as well.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, yeah.
Because caffeine is very
Caffeine
addictive.
is ridiculously addictive.
I'm totally addicted to caffeine. I know I am, 100%.
Yeah.
I
People,
mean, that's
people don't
probably
understand how addictive caffeine is.
they don't
as
know
well.
how addicted they are to it.
Yeah.
All these people that have to have a coffee in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Or a Dr. Pepper or a Coca-Cola.
Yeah, whatever, yeah.
There's
Or a
so many
Monster.
things. Yeah, there's so many things with caffeine in it that sometimes you don't realise.
But I actually think that I'm addicted to something else in these monsters, you know.
It's probably the taurine.
Yeah, someone else said it, but it's also, it kind of helps me feel better at certain times too, in my head and stuff.
Yeah, 'cause
sometimes
you know-
half of one of these can actually help my headaches.
Because in its natural form, it only exists in one place in the world. Do you want to know where that is?
Flower.
Inside a bull's testicles.
Oh, lala.
That is the only place taurine exists in the natural world.
Well, give it to me, baby.
And it is a stimulant specifically
that-
grown in bulls' testicles to make them aggressive and, like, pumped up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
Wow.
they found this, they isolated it, they created a chemical version of it themselves, and they poured it into something they called Red Bull.
Yeah, of course. I wonder if this is anything to
And
do...
no one fucking knows that!
You say it now, and I feel like I've heard something about
Yeah, yeah.
it, but it was one of the things that you heard, and it's like, nah, bullshit, you know. But no, it's bull semen.
Oh, do you have a...
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, no, literally, that's where it exists in the natural world, is inside bulls' testicles. They don't use it from bulls' testicles,
Yeah,
but they just make their
yeah.
own.
I wonder if that's anything to do with, like, because I've wondered if my testosterone's lowered over the last, like... But that's also since I've tried to stop being a slag as well, so, it's, you know...
Yeah, I mean, you can get... There's quite a lot of places that will allow you to get testosterone...
Checks.
replacement therapy.
Yeah, I did used to have it for, like, a
I've
few
got a mate
months.
who's on it. He swears by it. Although I think that there's some people that say it can accelerate things like hair loss.
It will, yeah. I mean, testosterone is like the male thing, isn't it? So as soon as
and
you
in
have,
fact, one of the things that most people who go bald have in common is that they have an elevated amount of testosterone.
Makes sense. Makes sense why I think I've got lower because I've not gone bald. I know it looks like it, but this hairline has been the same since I was as old as I remember.
Yeah.
I can find photos from when I had a shaved head to when I had slightly longer hair, and it's always been the same. You can kind of see in that photo there. You can't fully see because the hair's kind of curled over, but you can see how it curls back quite far. If you look at where that it is, you can imagine going up.
Yeah.
It's always been there, man. Even my oldest in that first photo, when he's quite young, he's got a high forehead and quite a high hairline too.
Yeah.
They both got it.
Yeah.
Tito's kind of developed it too. You can't tell there; he's still a fucking potato at that point.
Yeah.
But
I feel I've grown into the hairstyle again a little bit more.
That suits you, yeah.
It
that
suits
really
me now.
does. It does
I
suit you.
always go a little bit shorter than that because you don't want to immediately have it look good and then have it go shit.
Oh yeah. I mean,
and it looks good immediately after you've had a haircut anyway. But like, you want to have it a little bit shorter so it can grow into the length and give you a little bit of fucking time.
you've got to
with it.
style it though. That's the thing you have to do.
Yeah, but my styling is that.
At the moment, yeah, but as it gets a bit longer,
Yeah.
you'll have to like put a bit more in to keep it there, though.
I don't really bother with that. I just end up going fucking full fucking Heath Leather Joker. Just let it go over the side.
I can't say because obviously I've done that this time, but I never do that normally.
Yeah.
I'm so dying to go to the hairdressers right now and get it cut again, but I'm like, I should wait a couple of weeks and got more money. But I'm like, I need to do it though, man. It's getting long.
I always go to Squires in Stratford.
I want it.
I go to Squires in Stratford.
Oh,
Shout out to Squires in Stratford, the best barbers in Warwickshire, motherfucker. Literally, this guy, he does like a 15 £15 cut, right?
Wow.
From my massive amount of hair that I had.
Wow.
Cut it all the way fucking down, and he is a fucking pro, mate.
That's fucking cheap.
And he is good as well. He doesn't just do it quick, he does it right. He does everything right. You can tell the precision.
People like that though are not always good with long hair though. It's a problem.
That's true, but that's not what I'm going for. If you want long hair, go to a hairdresser's.
Yeah, a lot of time.
Legit, go to a hairdresser's. Even if you're a dude, doesn't matter. They know how to work with hair. They know what you want to go for. They know how to do it.
Yeah, they're not always better with. Actually, because they have to do plenty of clippers.
That's it. That's what they do, man. That's their bread and butter. You've got to
Yeah.
go to the fucking people who know what they're doing.
It's a good idea, actually.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna get your fucking nails done by a fucking bloke called fucking Ben with a fucking bunch of tattoos. No, you're going to go to the woman who's been doing it since she was fucking 14 because she's been practicing on how to make fucking S Club 7 on her fucking fingers.
Yeah, I don't know if you girls like that growing up. But even back then when we was younger and they didn't have TikTok or social media or anything, they were all doing TikTok dances still. Yeah. It's just there was nowhere to put it. Every girl did. I remember going into like my girl mates and they just doing this dance.
Yeah. They were all learning dance routines. Yeah. And there were charts and like fucking posters they'd buy that would tell you the dance moves as you went along and you followed along with the song. I saw them do it. It was like watching a cult do something. It was like an ancient ritual.
One of the things we take the mick out of a lot of stuff nowadays, this generation. Yeah. But there's been plenty of stuff that...
Oh, if TikTok was around when we were kids, everyone would have been using it. It's not like it's any particular generation.
Somehow stuff still gets like popular though, even before internet. And I still don't fully understand how, but it just kind of took a lot longer for these things. Yeah. Like I was watching something about wrestling when Mankind got thrown off the top of the saddle. If that was nowadays...
Fucking hell, that must have been a hell of a thump when all of those people hit the ground. I don't even remember this. When did this happen? I must have been part of it. Can you tell I'm in a weird mood today? I'm stuck alone in a car for fucking hours.
I'm always in a weird mood when I've been like that, or like when I'm tired more. If I literally haven't been asleep, then it's like I got weird energy.
Yeah.
The wrestler Mankind and he got thrown off the top of the cell.
Yeah.
Nowadays that would have been like, a week of people going like, oh wow. But back then it was like it took so long for everyone to see it and get shown it, it was like a thing for years.
Yeah. Yeah. Now it's just another thing that happened.
Yeah. Enough about being old anyway, complaining about the world today.
Yeah.
Because I can do that for a while.
Wow.
Mainly because I dislike the world
today. It's easy,
isn't
it?
Actually, I don't even fully dislike the world today. I think there's a lot of funny stuff.
I think
the world's the same as it pretty much always has been.
Yeah, that was a quote that I heard in Nick Offerman's book Gumption, which I was listening to on the way here.
Right.
He basically was talking to Conan O'Brien,
I love that.
Yeah,
I love Conan.
Yeah, apparently they've been mates for fucking ages. They're huge, like, you know, fans of each other's work and stuff. And he was like, okay, so what would you say about the state of the world and stuff? And he goes, I think the thing to remind people of is it's not like it is now shit.
Yeah.
You got to remind them it's always been shit.
It really has.
It has always been shit.
Mhm.
No matter what generation you live in, there has been something that was shit.
Yeah.
That was utterly shit, that was fucking looming over everything and causing a big fucking ruckus. Because that, unfortunately, is kind of just the way life is.
And
There's always another thing to overcome.
Yeah, and we think that because modern world, like say coppers for example,
Yeah.
we think because of the modern world everything's so easy because technology, everyone's got lazy. So back in the day, police must have been awesome at their jobs because they were going.
Oh, yeah, no.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
I'm gonna
Shitloads of corruption. You know how much easier it is to be corrupt as a cop if you
Corrupt,
don't have
yeah,
a fucking body cam and you don't have to do paperwork.
That's true, but I'm not even. I'm not even on about that level though. I'm just talking about being a bit dumb.
Oh, that as well.
Mm-hmm. Like, asked one story today. We might as well get into it now. Actually, we're going to look at an impossible murder, but also, some police stupidity in there. Good old police stupidity, but from back in the day.
Yeah.
So as we were talking about, back in day stuff.
Oh, before we go on as well,
Yeah, good.
I saw a point from a YouTuber that I hadn't watched for ages. But his point was as well, like, it was about the internet and information, which I think is sort of relevant to what we were talking about. He was basically saying, like, we don't have a lack of information, we've got too much bad information.
That's
And
exactly
he
what it is
compared
nowadays,
He compared it to sort of, up until about literally the 40s, after the World War and stuff like that. Before that, food shortages were just a regular thing that happened. Or just on regular occasions, a certain type of food or multiple types of food just would not be around because they hadn't been able to grow it.
I'm shocked that doesn't happen more now, but...
Yeah, well, it's just because we import stuff from countries that have been more successful and blah, 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 blah. But, like...
Give it a few years.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. But, like, that was a thing that happened constantly. It wasn't something that was, like, talked about in the news. It was just, well, that's just...
Yeah, it's just a thing.
You just don't have broccoli this fucking day. Sorry, we just don't
makes
have
sense.
it. Yeah. And, like, he was basically saying, once we got to about the 50s, suddenly we had more food than we ever knew what to do with. You know, you actually had a surplus of food, which was like something that had never happened before in the history of mankind.
Yeah.
And so what they started doing was competing against each other to make people want to buy the food. So they just give you as much good, like, delicious food and like easygoing food as possible. Because it's got to be delicious because someone else is selling something.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's not like the companies are inherently bad for following this. It's just something that everyone does. But it's basically just we have hacked into a system that we never were able to hack into before because now we've got access to something that we didn't have access to before, and now it's poisoning us because we are eating far too much of the bad stuff because it's just fucking too delicious.
Yeah.
And that is exactly the same thing that's
and
happening.
cheaper.
Yeah, and it's exactly the same that's happening with the internet. The internet is... We never before the internet had access to so much information.
Right, yeah.
So much information.
But the bad information isn't necessarily...
No, but that's the problem. The bad information
more
is...
exciting.
No, but it's everywhere. And it is more exciting. And it does push views. And it does do this. It is just like fast food. We have fast news, and it is just as fucking bad for you.
Yeah, especially when you consider that most people only look at the headlines.
Yeah,
as well.
and then they make their decision and they comment about it.
That's a huge problem. It's
Yeah.
pure people's laziness.
Yeah.
They never want to admit it, but pure laziness.
Also, again, you're allowed to say...
And I love being lazy too, I get it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm lazy too. You're allowed to just say, I don't know enough about that. I don't know enough.
You can. Well, I mean, with people like us, though, when we're talking about stuff on like a podcast, we should, like, read up on stuff to a point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, yeah, if it's something we haven't fucking read upon, it's probably actually more important for us to say, actually.
Yeah.
To be fair. No,
if you
I don't know.
Yeah. Something, if you don't know about a subject, you're okay to say you don't know about a subject, you know? Like, do I know the intricacies of the Chinese dynasties and how they came to be? No, I fucking don't.
I need to learn about that.
So I'm not going to fucking start lecturing someone on it.
That's about the only thing I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the history.
Yeah, he knows
it all.
the meaning of life, the universe, and everything.
42.
That's it.
Yeah, the one time it was asked, that was the answer that was generated.
What's the question? Oh, it's going to take longer.
Yeah, it's like a game of Jeopardy, basically.
Oh, I fucking love Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, man.
Well, it actually happened in real life as well.
What?
Yeah, that happened in real life, and then they included it in that.
No, I read the thing. He specifically said he just picked out 42 because it was the funniest sounding word.
I swear I read it that actually happened.
No, well, it might have actually happened afterwards.
I need to check that now.
If
'cause I've
the
always thought that
entire
was an actual
calculation of
thing.
everything is 42.
No, not that it's obviously. It was like when they. I heard it was when they made the first supercomputer.
Right.
Yeah, one that was like filling up rooms and stuff. You
Right.
know, or first
And
computer.
they asked
properly.
it, and it said
And they asked
42.
it, yeah. Hold on. What did the supercomputer say when asked the...
Yeah, but the problem is it's a supercomputer in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy as well.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see.
Yeah. Deep thought.
Maybe that's where the confusion came from me in that case then. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
on here. Maybe something fucked me and just told me that.
The reason why he said 42 is because it
Yeah.
makes you smile while saying it, which is usually a funnier word.
Okay.
It's 4T2. So you go T, which makes you smile. T, 4T2.
Yeah, fair enough, okay. God knows it looks like that. Okay. So other than that, I know everything. Other than that,
Yeah.
I know everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Papa knows two things. There was only one thing until a moment ago.
So let's get into this
Right.
weird motherfucker.
This is the impossible murder of Isidor Fink.
That sounds like a Wes Anderson movie.
Scream?
What?
Scream?
No.
What else did he do?
Wes Anderson is you're thinking Wes Craven, I think.
Oh, I am.
Wes
I'm thinking of Wes
Anderson's the
Craven.
guy who does those weird ones like Grand Budapest Hotel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've not been a fan of it. I've seen a few and they all kind of
But
look
it
the same,
doesn't.
don't they?
The Impossible Murder of Isidor Fink is exactly the kind of movie he would make.
Yeah, you know what? I know what you're saying. It does sound like one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe they should make
Who
this.
would play Isidor Fink? Mark Ruffalo.
Well, let's have a look. See, hold on. We got a picture of him, so. Hold on. Bear with me. Where is he? I know I've got a picture of him on here.
If that fucking happens, I fucking know where you got the idea, Wes. I expect my little bit of cha-ching.
To be honest, you're right though. It sounds kind of perfect. Because look at him, it fits nowadays. I don't know if he is,
Yeah.
but he looks like he might be Jewish.
Oh, he's got to be Jewish then.
He looks Jewish, doesn't he?
He looks Jewish.
Is that okay to say he looks Jewish as shit? Is that okay to say?
I think it's fair to say in this case.
Because he does.
He looks very Jewish.
Jewish as shit.
Yeah.
So that is Mr. Isidor Fink, and let's learn a little bit more about him. So March 9th, 1929, in Harlem, New York, before the Harlem Shake was invented.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just imagine for a second that you, right now, Nathan, our detective, you
Yeah.
get a call in the middle of
Hang
the
on,
night.
let me get into
Okay,
the
into
headspace.
character.
It was all hot days and cold glasses.
Fuck was that tune then?
That's just the saxophone in the background, mate.
Oh, that what it was.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were killing a cat or something.
Well, that happened too. Yeah, come on then. I'm in the headspace now.
You're a detective. You
Yeah,
get
I'm a
call.
hard-boiled detective.
Hard-boiled detective.
I'm
Yeah,
driving a
see?
Chevrolet.
Yeah, you got a call, see, in the middle of the night to come
Yeah.
inspect noises overheard from a small business.
That's right.
When you arrive, I'm not going to keep doing that voice. When you arrive, you find that the door to the business is locked. There's not actually anything more for you to do, just so you know.
one of these podcasts we should just do as a full-on choose-your-own-adventure.
I've got an idea of something different I'm going to do to you eventually.
I'm going to do a choose-your-own-adventure murder mystery.
Okay.
We're going to do it on Kill Them With Comedy, but I'm going to do a choose-your-own-murder.
Now, how's that going to work?
I'm going to choose an actual murder, and I'm going to make you pick the sort of route through it.
Okay.
I'm going to find one where someone survived and see if you can pick the right things to do.
Right, yeah.
Yeah?
Like a maze almost.
Yeah,
But
right.
you find the other way.
And each time you pick the wrong one, I'm just going to come up with a horrible ending.
And the one I'm going to do to you will just make you look stupid, to be honest.
I mean, I'm used to that. I don't care.
It might not. You might figure it out. Okay, so when you arrive, you find that the door to the business is locked.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Wank it.
You could try. You can't leave because the lady that called you to the scene is insistent that she heard what she heard inside sounded pretty bad.
Oh, God.
Someone could be hurt, you know. So you do what any rational, smart man of the law would do back then. You force a small child through the tiny transom window above the door.
Who else wouldn't do that?
You know those windows, I mean, and it above.
That's
like,
what children are
office
for,
doors.
see?
That's what they
They
are.
get through smaller gaps.
They do, see?
That's why they're good in the mines.
They're expendable.
You can always have another baby.
You know what I mean? With that window above the door, anyway. Okay.
You can always have another baby. When was the last time you see a woman fire out a 40-year-old?
I actually did see it in a program once.
Fuck.
It was kind of fucked up.
Yeah,
They
it
were-
would be.
They were growing as she was coming out. Or as
Oh,
it was coming out.
I think I
sorry.
remember. What
And by the
program
time
was
they
that?
got there, he was just a naked old man, still like half like in that sack.
I do kind of remember that. What movie was
Fringe.
that?
One of the movies, Fringe.
Oh, Fringe.
Like the first episode.
That's nasty shit.
First episode, like the worst one as well.
Mm.
Okay, when you when you arrive, you find you've already put him through the window. Once the child finally unbolts the door from inside, you enter the business and find the owner dead, having been shot twice in the chest and once in the left hand.
My God.
You take a closer look and notice scorch marks on his left hand, which most likely indicates a close-range gunshot.
So he tried to grab the gun.
Sounds like that, yeah. So that's going to get shot nearby or something, scorched his hand and also shot through his hand. However, very strangely, there is no gun. No killer to be seen.
Well, that's probably because they took him with him.
What?
The
Oh, the
killer's not
killer
gonna-
took it with him.
Yeah, he's not going to fucking leave
Yeah.
it.
But there was no killer. And there was no escape while the door was locked from the inside. Bear in mind, she was outside and she was like, yo, there's a kerfuffle going on inside. Come and find out what's going on. They come over, can't get in. By the time they get in, he's dead. There's no killer. All the doors, all the windows are locked, everything.
Right. I'm
What the fuck?
immediately checking every closet.
Yeah, pretty much. This was the real-life mystery. The police person Albert Kenborn suddenly found himself in Harlem in 1929. Murder has since become known as the perfect crime and titled The Impossible Murder of Isidor Fink, and is still unsolved to this day. Possibly. We'll see. Officially unsolved.
Right. But
Obviously.
people got them theories.
People got them theories.
People always have them theories.
People got them theories. There's been a lot of time to come up with these theories, so...
Mhm.
There was another investigation and stuff too. 1929 in Harlem, New York was very close to the time of the stock market crash. As the economy plummeted, crime in the neighbourhood rose.
Yay!
Woo, crime! I mean, it would be kind of, like making it a bit more fun though, wouldn't it?
Well, for some people.
Rather than you every day, like boring, oh yeah, let me do some work, get my money, boring. You got
If
crime
you're
going
gonna
on.
pay protection to anyone, who are you going to pay protection to? You're going to pay it to the mob, you're going to pay it to the Irish, you're going to pay it to...
Hey, you to my gun vendor, what you on about? Yeah, man, get myself a big old gun.
Yeah.
Big giant motherfucker.
Big gun.
I mean, it's a stock market crash, so surely even the mafia are still like losing
Oh, the
money.
Mafia are hella in.
Oh yeah, this is when they start, innit, actually.
Oh, they're way before this.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They were already in the country for a while.
Were they big though, like? Or were they started and then this
I think
kind of gave them an extra push?
The big thing that really got them was the prohibition, which I think was like the early 1900s. It was like
I think it was
1906.
20s.
Well,
I think
yeah.
it was 1920s.
In which
wasn't it?
case, then they're at the peak of their shit.
Yeah, it makes
Yeah.
sense actually. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I know you're right there about the prohibition.
No, you're right.
Sure,
it
that's
is, yeah.
20s.
Yeah, it's got to be 20s. Yeah, because there were places that were doing it before then, but it became a federal thing
Yeah, like
in
the
the
whole.
20s.
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. Okay, so Isidor Fink was a Polish immigrant. I don't know if it actually says anyway. Now I'm thinking about it that he's Jewish, but he definitely looks Jewish.
I mean, we
And
don't.
that
know.
name as well.
It seems like it, but let's just let's see. What
No, I'm going to assume he's right. Thank you.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned, he's a Jew, and if he's not, then he's wrong. Oh, actually,
Ooh,
nowadays.
that was a hard J in that sentence.
Oh, you know what? That is such a stupid thing to say. Like, it's wrong to say someone is a Jew. What the fuck are you talking about?
Sometimes it is okay to say that they're.
It's always okay.
Yeah, but sometimes like they say that it's fine as well. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
what the
yeah.
difference
When
is.
they use it, yeah.
No, it's not even that. It's like apparently
Someone
there's
else.
a kind of context to
Yeah.
use it in relation to like the words you're using with it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just don't know.
Which is why when I hear that, I'm like, fuck you all. It's dumb. Stop being stupid.
He's a Jewish man.
It's like saying that you can sometimes say like the N word with a hard N. Like, what are you talking
No,
about?
you can't.
Yeah, it doesn't
No,
work.
you can't. You can't just say, "Oh,
You
well,
can
I gave it the A at the end. It's
Yeah.
not the hard N." What are you talking
I
about?
can either say it or I can't.
Yeah, it's the same word. It doesn't matter how you pronounce it.
I can either say it or I can call you a salt and
I
vinegar.
can say cupcake. I can say cupcake. But you know what I'm talking about.
Keke. What? Keke. Okay. So Polish immigrant, definitely a Jew, lived in constant fear of being robbed. His anxiety about... But I grew up with Jewish people as well, you know. I've been in a Jewish person's house like overnight. I've been in a Russian person's house overnight. I'm multicultural.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's
And I
pretty
grew
good.
up in an Asian area.
That's
And what?
That's
You
pretty good.
skinheads.
Nice.
And literally the opposite of skinhead too.
Well, opposite skinheads.
I mean, it used to be one.
Basically, everyone else, because everyone else has got hair, and
But-
most people aren't white.
I can say all that though, that I'm not the racist at all. But then as soon as I turn around and say people should listen to Tommy Robinson a bit more, takes it away.
Oh man, I'm really thirsty.
Oh.
Do you have a
Yeah, okay, I'll have something around. Yeah.
beverage?
Tap tap now.
Oh. Well, look at that. It's a cherry
Well,
Coke.
unless you want that actually.
I'll take that.
Yeah, go on.
Oh fuck yeah. Do you mind?
No, go ahead.
Thank you.
Cheaper anyway. Okay, what did I get to? They're the same price as the small ones, man, in all the shops. I
They're
don't know
what?
yeah, they're the same price. I'm like, what's the fucking point?
Why would you ever get
Exactly,
the small one?
exactly. It's hard to fit in a pocket, but that's about it.
Yeah, but fuck that.
Cuts onto my penis size 'cause it's so large, you know. His anxiety about our personal safety, being a Polish immigrant as
Jesus.
well, bordered on paranoia.
I fucking killed half of that.
Yeah. He was meticulous, almost obsessive, about locking and bolting every window and door, especially when working late in his small laundry business on E Street. After a certain hour, he would only allow customers he personally knew to enter. That's important.
Okay.
On the night, a smart man, though, you know, so it's not like he was being a dum-dum all the time, just inviting gangs in and that.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, obviously something happened. On the night of March the 9th, 1929, Fink was doing what he did every Saturday, working late at his business. The Fifth Avenue Laundry, located on the ground floor of the tenement building. The shop's front door opened directly to the street. Around 10:30 p.m., Fink's neighbour, Mrs. Lachlan Smith, like that name, who lived... Lachlan, anyway.
It's good, yeah.
Who lived behind the laundry.
Smith can go fuck itself.
Yeah, I mean, that's everyone, ain't it, you know?
Basic bitch, that one.
Yeah.
You know the reason why Smith is so good and so popular?
Oh, just a very popular name.
No.
Because of blacksmiths and stuff?
Blacksmiths.
Yeah.
Because blacksmiths wouldn't go to war because they were making weapons, which meant that they survived more, which meant there were a lot more smiths.
Yeah. It's the same with all of them, like
Yeah.
Fletcher, Cooper,
Yeah.
barrel makers.
Yeah, there's so many that are just...
Because most people's
they
last
were,
names were their job.
Well, their job, yeah.
They just
Or
changed and
something
changed.
about them or where they lived.
There's one for farmer, and I can't think what it's called. There's one that means farmer.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's one that means most things, man. Most
Yeah,
of these
yeah.
common names come from something like that.
Yeah.
I went for a thing once, you know, when I really wanted to learn loads of them. And I forgot most of them. Where do we go? Okay, yeah. So around 10:30 p.m., Fink's neighbour, Miss Lachlan Smith, who lives behind the laundry, don't know how you pronounce that, heard alarming noises, screaming, fighting, and the unmistakable sounds of physical blows. She couldn't make it out what was happening exactly, but knew something was wrong. She panically ran outside and encountered patrolmen, etc., like we said. Okay, this is just repeating what we said earlier, actually. He unlatched the bolt from within, allowing the patrolmen inside. When they discovered, shocked them, Isidor Fink had been shot 3 times at close range with burn marks on his left hand.
Yeah.
Just going over that again. Since the door was bolted from the inside, police initially assumed the killer must either still be in the room, as you said, or the murder weapon should be nearby at the very least. But a thorough search of the laundry yielded no killer and no gun. Even when homicide detectives arrived and turned the place upside down, ripping up floorboards, tearing out ceiling panels, cracking open walls, they found nothing, which is cool. The idea that you could hide in a wall. I've heard stories of that. People hiding in the area for like days,
Yeah.
like in a tiny nook and just waiting and waiting. I've heard of that legitimately. But these guys like tore the place apart.
Yeah.
Like, they assumed he had to be there, and they were like, maybe he's not. With no clear explanation and no fingerprints other than Fink's discovered, which, you know, it's the 20s, so how good were they? Investigators turned their attention to the only part of the laundry left untouched, the transom window. One theory proposed the killer escaped through it.
Mm.
So, locked it from the inside and then escaped through the window. It's supported by evidence of a broken hinge, but the window was extremely narrow, far too small for an adult male to squeeze through. And if he could, why? Just why? Take all that time to lock it, and then rather than go out of a window, you go out of the freaking window, out of a normal window, sorry.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it was on the street level, so you could have gone out a window at the back. No, you go through the window above, so anyone watching as well could just see you climbing out this window. No, I guess no one did.
No one cared.
No one saw, apparently.
No one.
Whether they were just all extremely racist to the Polish guy, that might have been true, so
Maybe.
it's not Harlem.
I don't know.
If no one could... Oh, no, sorry, I would have done that, didn't I? Next came to a revised theory. Maybe the killer fired the shots through the transom window from outside. Or somewhere else. I don't know why I said necessarily the transom window. Could have been anywhere. But again, the burn marks on Fink's hand
Yeah, no, that's close range.
made the scenario impossible.
Yeah.
Exactly. The shots had been fired from very close range. Another possibility was that Fink had been shot outside. I like this theory. On the street or in the hallway, and had somehow stumbled back into the laundry and locked himself in before collapsing. This would explain the locked door, but a medical examiner dismissed the idea outright as the injuries, they said, would have killed him almost immediately.
Yeah, but it's surprising what the human body can do in some situations.
This is the argument with this, because this
Yeah.
is 1929. They weren't
They don't know
great
what-
with medical
yeah,
science.
They
This
don't,
is
they
almost
just go,
100
"He's
years
been
ago.
shot twice in the head. There's no way he'd be standing." But actually, we've seen people take far worse than that.
During this on something else, they went to another story talking about when this kind of thing happened, even near to the time,
Yeah.
And they're talking about this guy that disappeared for a whole night, and then 6 a.m. in the morning, this business guy came back, knocked on the door, just covered in dirt, blood all over his head, and he was didn't really say much. He just went upstairs to go to the bathroom,
Yeah.
and as he got to the bathroom, collapsed because they found out he had a gunshot under his chin that went up into his brain.
Fuck.
And they basically retracted all, and it turned out that he had shot himself in this gazebo, and then it had taken him about a good 7 hours earlier, and he'd managed to get all the way back there.
Oh God.
He just walked all the way back in a haze.
Oh God.
You just don't know, man. You're under shock. You have no idea what you just
Yeah,
you're
at that
being
point, you're
super
not
drugged
thinking-
up.
At that point, you're basically just running on base instinct. Because
Yeah, you'd be high as hell.
well, it's not even that.
would be.
There's the different levels of the brain as well. There's the as I said, before there's the mammalian brain.
Yeah.
Then there's the ape brain. Then there's the reptilian brain. And at that point, after you've taken that much shock, it's like when someone gets their arm shot off in a World War II movie.
Yeah, yeah.
That and they sort of go around in a daze.
Yeah,
trying
exactly,
To find
yeah,
their arm.
yeah.
That is actually something that happens.
Yeah.
Those people do that. They don't know what's happening. They're like, I'm missing something. I've got to pick it up.
That's what I mean when I say high as hell, just in the sense
Yeah,
of
yeah, no,
confused,
exactly. Yeah,
you know.
yeah. No, yeah. It's very similar sort of
Yeah.
disorientation, but it's to a very unpleasant degree. It's like the worst trip you've ever had.
But there's still issues with that theory anyway, though. Because if that was the case, because for a few days they thought this was the case before, they'd spoken to a doctor who'd examined him properly.
Yeah.
They didn't find any blood anywhere else. Do you know what I mean? If you'd have been shot outside and stuff,
Bit weird, isn't it?
you'd expect that anyway. They don't go into full detail with that, but I would expect that they would have mentioned
It's a shame
this.
because at the time they didn't have all the stuff, but now we've got lots of stuff like blood splatter analysis is way better. You've got fucking
Yeah, well,
gunshot analysis is better.
gunshot residue. Gunshot residue, bang on, yeah.
'Cause
Although
then you can
there have been
find out-
examples.
You can find out though if the same gunshot residue on his hand is the gunshot residue that's in the air and on the surroundings around it.
I think gunshot residue is always the same.
No,
It's gunpowder.
it's mostly the same, but there's some different things will have slightly different amounts of different stuff in it, depending on the
Makes sense.
manufacturer.
Makes
So,
sense.
if you fire this pistol in the area,
More about the manufacture of the bullets.
everything in the area is now going to be covered in gunpowder.
Yeah, more about
But-
the with the residue.
Yeah,
More
yeah.
about the bullets.
Exactly, but the residue would be everywhere.
Yeah.
But if he's
Well,
doing
no, it
shot
goes
outside,
about the residue from the shot. When you take a shot, it goes kind of half.
yeah, but you're
full on,
inside a
doesn't it?
closed area, so it's like if you
Yeah, but I
sort
mean
of
the one that goes that way.
yeah, but it's like if you sort of fired out a load of dust. Like it's not gonna be visible over.
Yeah, that's the gunshot.
But there's
going
gonna
to
be
gunpowder, wouldn't it, going the other way?
It's gonna
like
be
you said,
everywhere. Yeah, it's gonna be coming out in a cloud.
Yeah,
and sort of
that
dispersing.
stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
But the
So-
residue comes the other way, though.
But what I'm saying is, if you've shot someone in that room, everything in the room is
Will have
going
something
to
gone.
will have some
Yeah,
gunshot
yeah.
residue on it.
Yeah.
But if he's been shot outside of the room would not have any in it.
Yeah, but they don't seem to have that anyway. That's the
No,
problem.
but that's the way I would have. That's what I would have checked for.
I don't know if it's the same thing though. The gunpowder residue that comes onto you, and then what comes out. Because I know you mean the cloud that goes out.
Oh,
I
no,
feel
but
like that would be more like
the gunshot
the gunpowder,
residue,
wouldn't
the
it?
gunshot residue is the same stuff. It's just when it's close up,
Oh, is that what it is?
it sort of burns and it hits something, and it sticks to it.
Which is why it singed him.
Which is why it singed him.
Yeah.
But in otherwise, it's just a cloud of really hot gases and like ash and dust that is left over from the explosion of the gunpowder.
Yeah.
So when that's coming out, it's like any cloud that comes out, and you can't see most of it. It's like tobacco smoke. You can't see 75% of tobacco smoke.
Yeah.
Most of it is
I
invisible.
mean, it doesn't. Gunshot residue doesn't burn you though.
No, but gunshot residue is doing the same thing. There's loads of chemicals and things that
Yeah,
are in
yeah,
there
yeah.
that are being fired out that aren't fired out by anything else. So you could find out if that gun was fired in that room.
Yeah.
You couldn't
Yeah,
necessarily
of course,
say if it
yeah.
had happened at that time, but you could definitely prove
Yeah.
if it had happened in that room
I
at
think
some
those
point.
two things might be slightly different, but you can still prove them either way. Yeah.
Yeah,
You'd
you know what I
definitely be
mean?
able to figure it out.
And I don't know why they didn't do that.
Yeah. Well, I think from what they've seen already, I don't even know if you could do it back then. You know, how
You
good
just
they were
literally,
back
you
then.
just take a fucking swab of the stuff. Well,
Yeah.
actually, to be fair, no, you're right. They might have just gone, well, it's just dust, because they don't have like fucking microscopes.
Exactly.
everywhere,
Yeah.
do
They have like fingerprints. That's
they?
pretty
Just
much all.
about, yeah.
Yeah, I think fingerprints are quite like
Yeah.
simple.
But like
aren't
we've
they?
got like fucking electron microscopes, so you can zoom in and go, yeah, that's gunshot residue.
Oh yeah.
Like, So yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah.
you're right. I don't think they would have had that then. Yeah. No, fair play. I
not in
retract it.
general anyway.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Like
Yeah,
some
you'd
people
have to
might
go
have
to a
microscopes.
specialist.
Yeah. They wouldn't have them everywhere.
You wouldn't have electron microscopes.
No,
would you?
no, definitely not. Adding, where do we go to? Okay, yeah. Adding to the mystery, there was no apparent motive. Fink's pockets were full, and the cash register was untouched. He wasn't known to have enemies, so robbery seemed unlikely.
Yeah.
He began questioning neighbours. Police began questioning neighbours and acquaintances. Fink's landlord, Max Schwartz, mentioned two well-dressed women he had seen in the hallway outside the laundry just before the murder.
well-dressed women.
I know, man. Maybe he's just got his freak on. We don't know.
Get my freak on.
He might have been.
Freaking deaky.
But Max also insisted that Fink had no contact with women, as his wife and children were still living in Europe. Yeah, means nothing. He might have just been backing up his brother.
Yeah. Yeah.
The police quickly dismissed the women's involvement, however, because ladies can't be killing.
Of course.
Then
I did think that legit. Like, how small was the woman who called this in? Could she have fit through the window?
I mean, possibly.
It's a thing to do.
It's a weird thing to call in, though.
No, if you shoot
could just
someone,
not call in.
If you shoot someone,
Yeah.
it's a pretty good idea to be like, oh, I think I heard something, because they're going to be like, oh, well, that's the person who called it in. You know, it's not going to immediately put you at the top of the fucking suspicion list, though.
I mean,
It might put you in connection to it, but if
It
you've
does.
not got any other form of connection to it,
yeah. It does in real life, but I could totally see why somebody would
And
think
also
it wouldn't,
I could-
especially
yeah.
back then.
but yeah, in this time and age,
Yeah,
it's definitely
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, she's just a dame.
Yeah, oh, and that as well, yeah, that's that on top as well. But I don't know, though. I mean, it could have been, but then came a new lead, though. Anyway, an unnamed friend of Fink's. He had buddies. Described as his only friend in the neighbourhood, he told police he had stopped by the laundry around 9:45 p.m.
Right.
about 45 minutes before the murder. He claimed he saw Fink inside and he was going to speak to them. However, he was with a black man and black woman, the Isidor who got killed. They were allegedly asking Fink if they had any second-hand underwear they could buy. Because apparently this was a thing back then, that you would buy second-hand clothes from a laundromat that people had just left behind.
Yeah.
Apparently, including underwear, but it wouldn't be necessarily the norm. I mean, they've just been washed, though, I guess, is one thing.
I don't care. I'm not putting on someone else's chuddies.
And I mean, if I had no choice, though, I don't know. It's hard to say. You know what I mean? If that was my only way of getting anywhere near clean underwear.
I'm not doing it.
I don't know. I haven't been in that situation,
Not
so I
doing
can't
it.
say I definitely wouldn't.
Not doing it, son.
I've been near. Strange as it sounds today, it was not unusual at the time for laundries to sell unclaimed clothing.
Yeah.
Despite his friend placing himself at the scene of the crime close to the death, and his mention of 2 unknown individuals, police neither followed up on him nor attempted to find the couple he described.
Yeah.
The case stalled. Eventually, police gave up, but on August 3rd, 1931, 2 years later, a commissioner publicly acknowledged the baffling nature of the crime during a radio broadcast called The Man in the Front Row. He referred to it as an insoluble mystery.
Wow.
But was it truly insoluble?
Insoluble.
Or did one wrong assumption derail the entire investigation? As some detectives were suspicious of Fink's unnamed friend, while the medical examiner claimed Fink would have died instantly from his wounds, like we were saying. What if that assessment, or both of them, was wrong? Two things are certain, sorry. Fink didn't shoot himself, and he wouldn't have opened the door for a stranger late at night. That's 2 things we definitely know.
And it seems like a convenient thing to just be like, oh, it was a black guy.
Bit of a racist friend.
Yeah.
I mean, even Harlem, New York, I know now it's, I think, more of like that kind of... well, it might be gentrified at this point, I'm not sure, actually.
I don't know.
I know it used to be.
Yeah, I don't know what the sitch is in Harlem.
No, I mean, New York, a lot of that's like super gentrified nowadays.
Yeah.
Like most of it is, I think.
Yeah.
Apart from maybe... I think even parts of Brooklyn and stuff.
No, Brooklyn's really expensive.
Yeah, and what's that?
I've got an aunt.
Compton.
I've got an aunt who owns a bit of Brooklyn. Or well, owns a place in Brooklyn. It's fucking lovely as well. It's like a 4-story fucking townhouse thing.
Well, you're right then. She owns a bit of Brooklyn then. It's true. Okay. So who did?
Aunt and uncle, both of them lovely.
Okay, we'll pause that. Yeah, man. Oh, sorry. Hold on one moment, I can't quite hear you. Oh, hello? Oh, hey, man. Oh, I said I got your money whenever you want to pop down. Yeah.
So, what was I saying? What was I saying?
Sorry about that again.
So yeah, there's the
Good man, he's been nice and waited for me.
right.
My regular florist, he gets all the daisies and chrysanthemums that I need.
Of course he does.
We all need a good florist.
Mumming it up.
I mean, I think that's a flower. Chrysanthemum.
It is.
Pretty nice, isn't it?
It is.
It's a fancy sounding one. Sorry,
Yeah.
you were talking, apologies.
I don't know. Shall I keep going with this?
If you want to, yeah, sure, go ahead.
Some theorise his friends visited alone and shot. The two got into an argument. The friend pulled a gun, perhaps fitted with a silencer. A struggle ensued. Fink tried to grab the weapon and was shot in the hand during the scuffle. Recoiling, he let go, and the friend shot him twice more in the chest. Realising what he'd done, the killer fled. Fink, somehow still alive, managed to stagger to the door and bolt it shut before collapsing and dying, thus creating an illusion of a locked room murder.
That's a very good point, actually.
Yeah.
He could have done it in the room. He could have run off, and then he could have just locked it out of fear.
He could have done it at the door.
Yeah? Yeah?
He could have literally been like, oh, no, I'm not, I'm closing up. And he's like, no, let me in. He's like, no, I'm closing up, man. Come on, seriously. And yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're not wrong, because they didn't seem to look into the friend, so they say, what's the motive, because there's no cash being missing.
Doesn't have to be cash.
Exactly, if it was a friend, then the motive might be something else you haven't looked into.
Might be an item.
Maybe he tried, maybe
he had diamonds.
Maybe it was about a girl, as usual.
Maybe it was about a girl.
There's always something you've got to check.
Mm-hmm.
Friends especially, they might accidentally get in with the same
Seems
girl.
like the detective's not doing a lot of work.
It does, doesn't it? It really does. You're not wrong there.
We were way better at it in the fucking police simulator yesterday.
Oh yeah, we killed it.
We were fucking way better.
If you want to see that, come on. It will be on Rumble, YouTube, KD. No, bonus plus extra.
Yeah.
It will be on.
Yeah.
The gaming portion of that.
That's right.
Yeah, there was only 15 minutes or 20 minutes because I totally did not realise I weren't recording. But there'll also be some grinding on there, and we'll have some more stuff coming out with me and him too.
There'll be shit to see.
Okay, where do we get to? Okay, conveniently.
Oh, speaking of that, actually, did you see I got you a little something?
Hmm?
You're not logged into your Xbox account
Since when?
since like yesterday.
No. Why?
Mate, I got you a little something.
What do you mean?
I got you a little game, mate.
Oh my, what the heck?
It's called Broforce, mate.
Isn't that on the Game Pass?
No, it was on Game Pass. It's not anymore.
I played Broforce. Is that the one that's got like Rambo?
Yeah, Rambo.
And-
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I'll play that
was
with you, 100%.
It was £2.50. I thought I'll get you that.
Oh, you
I bought it
gent.
for myself.
You
We can have
lovely
a little
bugger.
bit of a stream of that at some point.
How nice.
I know, right?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's right.
I never get bored of things.
And it's on the play it on your Game Pass thing. So just
Yeah, you can stream it.
you can stream it straight through.
Banging, okay, yeah.
There you go.
You let me know whenever you want to play.
Yeah, bro.
Where did we get to? Okay. It's worth noting that the friend conveniently redirected police attention to the black couple.
Mm-hmm.
Feeding into racial bias is common at the time. And I also want to point out as well, that's just come to me since writing this, that he's a Polish immigrant who we think is Jewish. Police, back then, not giving a crap about a Polish immigrant who's Jewish as well.
Yeah.
I mean, this was before a lot of the sympathy from World War II came about as well. Because I have to imagine, for a good few decades after World War II, after the Holocaust was publicly made known anyway, I don't know when that happened, it's never straight away, but I have to imagine that after that there was at least a few decades of sympathy for them. I don't know what happened and why everyone hates them again. I have never understood this, where all this hatred for Jewish people comes from, man.
I don't.
It's like, I have a friend as well who, not going to lie, is a lovely guy to me, but he's a tad racist.
Right, yeah.
Especially more religion rather than racist, like you were
Right.
saying, you know. He's not
Right.
really racist, he's more religionist, however you put
Right.
that. And a bit racist too, though.
Right.
Yeah, to be fair.
Okay.
But he is the guy who almost got killed by Asian people, though, that attacked him. And I think that did fuck his head up, like, so.
It would do.
There is literally brain damage, I mean, though. There is reasons for it as well. He
Yeah.
wasn't that bad before.
Yeah.
But that didn't help anyway.
It's a shame when shit like that happens.
Yeah. But, I forgot my point now. I just started talking about that. I was like, why? What did I mention that? What did I mention? I was talking about... Oh, yeah, I know why. Because I know that he shares my opinion about how the fanatical people of Islam are not good people. The fanatical followers of Islam.
Yeah.
But for some reason, this is where I'm saying his weird racist bias comes in, though. Because he hates Jewish people more and thinks they're evil. I have no idea where that comes from. Whether he he secretly reads these Redditor sites and he's got, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And his head fuck up, he's got more into this than I realised.
That's a bit.
This is someone who I didn't see for about 6 years because after that happened, he kind of disappeared for a bit and didn't leave his house.
Yeah.
And then he's someone that I've, pulled back into our group again. In that group chat and that, but I still haven't seen him for like a decade.
Yeah.
As far as I know, he could have fucking swastikas all over his back. I doubt it. I highly doubt it.
It's not impossible, but yeah, you doubt it.
Yeah. He's a very logical guy normally, but I just don't understand where that comes from. So I'm like, in general, I'm like, do a lot more people have that opinion than I realise? And they must do, because there is so much hate for Jewish people.
I think it's one of those ones that
even before Israel.
People don't talk about, despite the fact that they have an issue with it.
Yeah, it's weird.
Because they know what the connotations are relating to that. You know what I mean? Everyone is very aware of the Holocaust. Everyone is very aware of that. And if you're a Holocaust denier or something like that, it does kind of just make you a fucking asshole.
I mean, how many of those people really exist?
Oh, there's more than you'd expect.
Every time that I've heard a famous person, somebody's accused them of being a Holocaust denier and showed a Fink. Yeah. If you watch the full clip, that's not what they said. Like, everybody thinks that Candice Owens is a Holocaust denier.
Yeah, no. There's not. There are people who've definitely been Holocaust.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
There
Yeah.
definitely have
I'm sure there is, but they're probably the people like they're already on the fringe on it. Like, actually, you probably hear about them more now. Since Israel and stuff.
Actually, to be fair, also like immediately after the war, there was people doubting it and stuff.
Right, the World War II.
Yeah.
I go. Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things where people just either part of them just thinks that's impossible to be that evil.
Yeah.
Or they just go, well, no, I don't think that's true because it's not that important and we shouldn't have to, you know.
It is weird, isn't it, where this comes from?
There's two different vibes to it. And the problem is that the people who are like
we're trying to find logic in illogical people.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
exactly that. And the problem is that the very illogical people are sometimes very good at trying to present their shit as logical.
Yeah, because they really believe it.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, you know. or at least like the lower down ones are like say a cult kind of scenario do. But yeah, it's always I've always found it so strange. I've never really understood where it's come from.
Yeah.
And it always seems to have been there because obviously Hitler had it.
Yeah.
And obviously I came from somewhere as well.
It's not like it's a new thing either as well. Like, the Jewish people have always had a fucking problem with constantly being fucked with by people.
Did the Jewish people take over a bit more in Germany when Germany got fucked over after World War II?
They didn't take over.
I don't mean take over. I mean
Yeah.
like, there was a lot more Jewish because I know Germany got fucked after World War One because we let it get fucked. We fucked it.
I think they were there anyway because I think there were Jewish people who fought for the Kaiser and shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense as to why Hitler was there the whole time. Why I guess they were around, so that's why he grew this hate.
England was England's got a sort of surprisingly low Jewish contingent. Sorry, in comparison to most of the other like European countries.
I've only ever met one family.
Yeah, and the reason why is because mostly they end up in sort of London or Birmingham or places like that.
This is Birmingham.
What?
This is Birmingham.
Yeah, I know, but like specific parts of Birmingham.
Yeah. Is it? I didn't know Birmingham was one of them.
Yeah.
That where you'd expect more.
Potentially, yeah.
I guess it makes sense why I have met a
Mostly
family then.
realistically, London is the most likely place you'll come across.
Makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
just one of the more.
And it's not a bad thing. It's just like that's just where they seem to be.
Man, seeing all this kind of like secret hate for them coming out of the woodwork as this Israel stuff's gone on,
Yeah.
and I get why there's more negative stuff because Israel's, as it's gone on more, the Gaza stuff.
Yeah.
You can see why that would come about, but it's also I don't see that
You can't
everybody
connect the
would.
thing, though. Yeah.
I don't see why everybody
because some people
would
are
suddenly
fucking idiots.
hate Jewish
Some
people because of that.
hate actors and go up to them on the streets and try and attack them because they
shit
don't
they've
like
done.
the character.
Yeah,
they play.
yeah.
Like that's the people we're
Yeah.
dealing with here, Carl.
I suppose, I'm thinking of it like a big portion,
Yeah.
but I suppose it.
The problem is that because like there's so many people on Earth, and because you're a famous person, you stick out.
Yeah,
You're gonna meet so many people. You are inevitably going to come across some fucking absolute nutters. You know?
Yeah.
There's no way you're not.
Sorry, I just realised that I'd done more of that than I realised. So go ahead. Let's finish up this actually, because there's only a little bit more left. I
Yeah.
thought I had a lot to do, but I don't.
It's all right. Keep going. I'm enjoying it.
Okay, where did we get to? Oh yeah, that's where we get to. Yeah, they shut the door. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because
Because if he's done it at the door as well, you could have like pushed him away and then like locked the door and then like just.
Yeah, and there were a lot of racist biases at the time, which makes sense why he would just be like, yeah, it was a black couple.
Yeah.
That wanted underwear.
Of course you would. Yeah.
Because that also insults him at the same time.
Yeah, because he's they wanted underwear. You
No,
know, like
they-
they always do.
That sounded like a get them jobs kind of guy to me.
Yeah.
But back to the question of whether somebody could. No, we know that. That was the thing I was on about earlier, but we've already gone through that. Had this story been known to New York authorities in 1929, the one we mentioned about that guy who shot
God, it must
himself
have been
through
so
the head?
easy to get away with so many crimes in the 20s.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a black guy. Well, that's the book closed on that one. It's like the fucking Konami code.
To be fair, you know what? Actually, we've covered all of that actually already.
Yeah,
we don't need to go back into
police
it.
records mysteriously
Yeah,
vanishing is
yeah.
obviously like that's.
Oh yeah. That's just
That's
because they didn't keep
creepy.
track of them.
What is it though?
I mean, if they suddenly decided after a
Do you
few
remember what I
years,
said to you at the start of this podcast? It's
Go
a
on.
lot easier to be corrupt when you don't have to when you don't have body cams and you don't have
Yeah.
to do paperwork.
yeah. Maybe the copper did it.
Maybe the copper did it.
Maybe he got there. He was in cahoots with the
With
woman.
the lady, yeah.
Well, he didn't do anything. That's why I didn't check it, because he was the friend.
Yeah.
He's a community officer. He just fucking hates Polish Jewish people.
Yeah, I mean, that's unfortunately not impossible.
I mean, to be fair, Polish people, if you try and go into their border now, will shoot you.
If you don't have a passport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go in illegally.
Yeah, but if you go up to them with a passport and you say, "Hi, sir, I am this person. I would like to enter your country and enjoy your beverages," they will say, "Come on in."
As long as you're not Muslim. Like, literally.
Go to the Czech Republic. You'll be fine.
I'm sure that's part of the thing. I know they don't have... I think it's really hard to get immigration to there, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
like one of them.
Yeah.
Like, because yes, you can go legally.
I've been watching more of the fucking best food review show again. He's still in. He's done 2 episodes in Kazakhstan now.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who that is. I know I've seen
It's
it
the guy
before.
with the red bandana.
Yeah, I'm sure I have
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
that. Let me remind myself because
Yeah.
I know I've seen it. Carry on though.
Best food review show. But yeah, he's done Afghanistan twice. Well, no, he's been there once, but he's done 2 videos on it, and it's so fascinating just watching like him trying to enjoy food and stuff, and just enjoying these lovely people, and at the same time, there's just motherfucking Taliban walking around with AK-47s, just because they are the police officers now.
Oh, of course, Afghanistan right
Yeah.
here. Okay, I'm going to put that on and have a little look-see, actually.
This is Bolani.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I'll do all the things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just because it'll be interesting to have a look at. I'll make it a little bit bigger than that. That's a bit small. That's the wrong fucking thing, that's why.
That is the wrong thing.
Okay, there we go.
So zoom forward a little bit. Just jump into some of the food.
Yeah.
So look at this stuff. Like that is a dried like cheese made from milk, right? That they then add water to it. It makes like a creamy ramen noodle base. And they add like loads of other flavours to it on the top, like a really nice like spicy chutney and like masala spice to mix in. And it's like all these really simple dishes, and they're costing like 87 cents for like a whole bowl or something. And it's like, it looks nice.
Oh,
It
no,
looks, I like the food. I mean, I'm
Yeah, I
probably
love
not going
Bengalese
to go,
food.
but like,
Oh, I am not going to
Oh,
Afghanistan. Are you
no.
fucking crazy?
yeah, not a fucking chance.
Hell, I'm going nowhere in the Middle East.
No.
Nowhere. Not even Saudi. And that's like really, as
Really
a guy.
open. Yeah, pause this again, just so we don't get any fucking,
Oh, it's so tiny, man.
Yeah.
As a guy, though, fuck am I going to Saudi? I want to see some of these some of these Taliban walking around, though.
Oh, you'll see it. There's a bit where keep going. Keep
Yeah,
going.
he's got to look for him to be out and about more. Oh, actually, this would be easier to find.
No, there he is. Yeah, there's one.
What do they look like?
They just look like everyone else, but they just happen to be carrying.
Yeah, they look like that. Except they got a giant gun on them.
I thought, yeah.
Yeah, they've got to be somewhere. It can't be that. Or they might be purposely not showing them as much as they
There's
can.
one.
Was that one, you
Yeah.
think? That makes sense. Why kind of... He's like, oh yeah, I'm watching.
Yeah.
Because I suppose, to be fair, it's very rare they probably see a white dude.
Especially an American.
Yeah. Good.
And like he gets stopped in the first video by Taliban who check his papers.
Oh. Okay.
So that's a really interesting one.
Yeah, I'm going to go back and have a look at that then. I travelled to Afghanistan for food, terrible idea. To be fair, I mean,
Yeah.
out of everywhere to go and try and get fed.
This guy is legitimately brilliant. He's been on the Joe Rogan podcast. He's
I
been
feel
on,
like I'd recognised him.
Yeah. He's legitimately got balls and a stomach of steel.
Yeah, he needs both, definitely. But
And one of the things as well, they do not want you to film women at all.
yeah, I suppose because it shows that they're...
There's there's
because
the
it-
hotel gate. Those are the Taliban as security.
I suppose because it all shows, that every time you show like women, it shows that they're still being forced to fit that, classic thing. Where they're trying to make out to
they're trying
everyone
to
that they
make it like
don't
it's
do
a
that anymore.
respect thing as well, though. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
this is
Oh, I
to
see.
respect the women. You don't take photos of the women and stuff like that.
Well, they may say that's the case,
Yeah.
but really, probably both because they think it's not okay, to sexualise women at all.
Yeah.
And if you know what, man, I was watching the Saudi wrestling show the weekend.
Yeah.
And they have the same thing, with the women, etc. Like the women wrestlers still now, they're featured a hell of a lot more now. The more and more they go, they feature them more and more, to the point that this show the other day pretty much felt like almost a women's show. But they still wrestle in like these kind of katsu things, where they're all covered up.
Yeah.
The problem is though, when they come in with these kind of sometimes PVC catsuits on that are super tight, I'm like, it just looks kind of hot though.
That's if anything slightly more sexy.
Yeah, the fact you covered up that bit more, but I can see every little bump
I can
and
see
that.
every little crease and crevice.
Yeah.
And all I have to do in my mind is just change the colour and add some texture.
It's really
no-
strange logic.
Yeah.
And it's there's one though when I was watching, I was like, oh man, you need to be careful.
Is it camel toeing?
No, not that. She
Oh.
had a different suit on. She had a normal suit like the rest of them.
Yeah.
But to about here, it was it was kind of see-through a bit, like half see-through, like black tights kind of thing.
Yeah.
and you could see the cleavage and everything, and I was like, oh, you're brave.
You're playing with fire.
Yeah. But nobody's been kidnapped. They all got out.
And what they should do to make it easier is they should just declare whatever arena it is an American embassy.
Just for the night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they do go around different ones. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things. It's just that people were talking about, like whether it's going to be cancelled. It's like, not really cancelled. You know how much money this makes, how big it is for that area, for their name and that. They would move everything to make sure this works.
Heaven and fucking earth.
Yeah, they will pay Qatar to open the fucking air bit that they need. For example, there was some production of apparently stuck in there like half a week before. I'm sure they'll sort it out.
Yeah,
and they did. I mean, Netflix did fuck up on Friday, the first one of it, the SmackDown.
Yeah.
It did go off for about half an hour. I was like, yo, they bombed it. What's going on? What the fuck's going on? They bombed the arena, man. What the hell?
Yeah.
But no, just some kind of, I guess it overheated because it was very hot out there.
Yeah.
Almost as hot as here. Actually, no, it was hotter there, but yeah, it's been hot here, though.
Hot as fuck.
It's like a Hawaii today, man.
Hawaii.
It was actually hotter than Hawaii the other day, I know that.
It was 36 degrees some places.
Damn.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I want to see some more of this. What's that teeth? Ugh.
Oh yeah,
The fuck was that?
They make something out of like fat.
It looked like it had teeth.
It might have teeth. I don't know.
More than me.
So here he is. He's in the fucking streets of Kabul.
Kabul. Okay. I love that balancing on the head, man. That's amazing. That is.
Yeah.
I would love all this food though, because I love like Bengalese street food
Yeah,
and that.
yeah.
Wait, am I calling it right? Bengalese. That's right.
I don't know what it is.
Bengali.
This is-
Bengali.
Yeah, but this is so different to all of that.
But that's that area though, like more
Similar.
Pakistan kind
yeah,
of
yeah,
side.
similar sort of stuff. But like,
It's more your Western Asia rather than India.
yeah,
But then you've got different parts as well though. You've got I forget the other one. 'Cause,
there's
like,
the Taliban.
oh Jesus. There's all like let's go back, I wanna do that. There's all like the different fucking hell, just that's your police right there then.
That's the police. The Taliban are the police. I cannot express that enough, ladies and gentlemen. The Taliban are the police.
Look, just chilling around people with delivery skewers and
Yeah.
the looks of it.
Yeah.
And then just got someone casually with an AK-47.
How fucking crazy is that, though?
Just chatting to his
What
mates.
did you think that there would be a delivery, a mobile phone delivery company active and working in Afghanistan under the Taliban?
I
Is
mean,
that something you thought would happen?
I assumed that was probably food delivery with a mobile phone advertising on the
Yeah.
side. But
Yeah, but you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Well, yes and no.
How crazy is that in a way?
Now it doesn't surprise me. They were saying this like, 5 years ago when America was there still?
Yeah.
That would seem crazy. But the fact that, this is the thing, you only, I see what you're saying actually. You know what? How many women are you seeing actually?
Not many. Really not
Oh,
many.
wow. Look at this.
Look at the crowd. There's so many different faces. There's some people who are like interested. There's some people who are sort of,
Look at that kid
genuinely
there. Oh, my
angry.
God.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
some.
he's pissed. Look at him.
pissed. He is so pissed.
He wished he had his freaking gun right now.
Yeah. I would have shot you, motherfucker.
Maybe he's an off-duty Taliban as well.
I mean, he might be.
A lot of them, obviously, by this point as well, have probably kind of been persuaded that way of thinking too. It's generally how it goes along with it there. A lot of them probably thought this through the whole fucking US settlement, whatever you call it, invasion, whatever you want to fucking call it.
Invasion, yeah.
Invasion is probably more
Occupation.
real. Occupation, that's better, yeah. Damn, that's crazy. I haven't seen a single woman, now I'm looking.
There are like occasional little
The odd
glimpses,
one that
but,
cuts
like, they
through.
really aren't trying to film them.
Well, they're really trying not to.
Yeah.
I am seeing none. Shimaki. Oh my God.
So they boil it all in a kettle, and then they add the sort of the chutney over the top.
Oh, okay. That stuff you got. Oh, this is bread now.
And the bread they do looks really interesting.
I like bread and stuff like.
Look at the way they make their bread, right?
It's amazing. You see when they slap them on the sides of the oven. It's amazing, man.
It's a flatbread, but they make it into like dividable pieces like that.
Oh, I see. That's funky. Yeah, so it's like a tear and share
Yeah.
flatbread.
But for yourself.
Yeah. I eat most tear and share flatbreads to myself anyway.
Yeah.
Like when you get a garlic bread and it's like for 4 people, it's like, what the fuck are you on about, man?
Yeah, what are you fucking talking about? Fucking share. This is for one person and you know it. And you
Yeah.
know that's what we're going to be doing with it, but you don't care, do you?
I don't care. It is amazing just seeing like.
Yeah.
Surely it's got to be a rare thing that you get the clearance to film in
Oh
like,
yeah,
Afghanistan.
he had to go through multiple checks, multiple inspections.
Yeah.
They had to check his. I don't know where the bit where it is where he gets his shit checked.
I mean, that probably would have been more at the beginning, wouldn't it?
It was near when he was in the marketplace. That's when it is.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it don't matter.
But yeah, literally. Oh, hang on. It was almost there.
That you reckon?
No, back.
Back.
No, further forward. In the Kabul bit.
Okay.
Kabul streets. It's early in
Look
Kabul
at that, looks
streets.
like teeth there, doesn't it?
Yeah, go back to the early bit of the Kabul streets. I think it might be right at the start of that.
Oh, look, see.
Oh no, it's just.
Oh, it is the bit we actually watched
Yeah.
a bit. Oh yeah, this is this bit.
Yeah, we've seen it.
Let's see if
It
there's
might be
any.
after this then. I really do want to, because it's so interesting, because it seems so normal in a way.
It doesn't
Here
surprise.
it is, there it was.
No,
There it
then?
was.
Yeah.
Right, so.
Look at that, just sheep's head,
Yeah,
man.
he's just buying that so he
Damn.
can get it cooked somewhere else.
I just want a couple of heads, please.
Because that's what you do. You go buy your food somewhere in
Here
the
it
market.
is.
There we go, yeah. So they're like, okay, what's going on? So there's one
Yeah.
who's like, yeah.
Just letting them know that we're going to be a check. They probably can't record that though.
Not
Like,
supposed to, no.
yeah. Well, yeah, that bit, like, we were just saying it, but they didn't show, like, the full.
I mean, I imagine they're out of Afghanistan by now. You
Oh, yeah,
they
by the
wouldn't
time
be
they put this
releasing
on.
these
Oh, yeah.
in Afghanistan.
Yeah, I fucking hope not. Depends how long they're there for, but you'd have thought not. Like,
oh yeah, and Afghanistan is easier to film in than Egypt.
Really?
Yeah, Egypt was a fucking nightmare for them.
I know when you were at the pyramids and stuff, but even everywhere then.
Just the entire time they were just constantly fucking him over, asking for money for his filming, even though he had permits. He was like, "No, you got to give us a bribe." And
Oh,
shit like
isn't that like just the grifters in here? I heard something about that from somebody else, and so it's just grifters in the area, though. It's not actually, you know.
It's not actually them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the problem is his producer that he had was just like going along with it as well, so it was obviously just part of it. And it was just
Or he just assumes. It's a
No,
crap
the-
producer.
it could just be a crap.
You know,
producer, yeah.
like, I swear I watched it on. Well, I think I've been wrong about something earlier, so I probably shouldn't swear it.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a possibility that I saw that on something.
Yeah.
It's a Joe
Strong
Rogan
possibility
thing.
is a thing that's happened.
Because I've listened to so much of, like, you know, the Graham Hancock and all them, like, talking
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Because it is kind of great. And there was somebody that went there, actually. I watched something, and they were filming around, and they went one way, and people kept. I think it might have been that fucking Tyler Oliveira guy. The guy with the blue
that
jacket.
motherfucker.
Yeah, I hate him. I don't
I
even watch
hate
his
that
shit
dude.
anymore.
I try and watch anything other than him if I'm watching anything to do with an interesting place. Like there's people who've been into Mogadishu.
Come again.
Mogadishu.
What's the Mogadishu now?
Mogadishu is a city in I can't remember. It's an African nation. It's like Namibia or Zambia or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
But basically, it is the most dangerous city on earth. Like every single thing will say, if you go here,
You'll get murdered.
you're gonna get either murdered or kidnapped,
Yeah. Okay.
or you're gonna get shot at the very least,
yeah.
or you're gonna get stabbed, or you're definitely gonna get robbed. Right? There's
yeah.
there's no way this is coming out. There's always terrorist
Unless-
attacks.
Unless you're going
There-
there with guns,
Yeah.
purposely just kill everyone.
There are constant terrorist attacks. There are constant pirates issuing ransoms of people.
Wow.
There's all this shit. Do not go to Mogadishu.
Yeah, it does not sound like anywhere.
Yeah.
Why would you?
And yet, there's
do.
multiple videos on YouTube of people who've gone to the United Arab Emirates and then got a flight to Mogadishu because that's the only fucking place that will go there.
I totally. I mean, there's people that go to these uncontacted tribes and expect something different than to be
Yeah.
murdered.
But these people seem to have an interesting time in Mogadishu. Like, I imagine it's only the ones that survived, but like...
Yeah, I mean, maybe if you've got enough money to pay everyone off,
I
then
mean,
you
you've
don't
got to
need to
have
get
you've
robbed.
literally got to have a full security force with you.
Full security force, like a small army, and also enough money to, I reckon, still
Yeah.
quench everyone. Why would they really go out of their way to rob you if you're giving them all the money?
Yeah,
But they
I'm just
know.
gonna give you $1,000. Go away.
But
Well,
they
that suits me. That's a lot easier.
But they know as well that they can't just rob you because you haven't got the money on you or
Mm-hmm.
something. You know, nowadays, you know, pin and chip.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Chip and pin,
They
fucking-
can't just kill you and take it. you know.
Imagine that. Imagine a fucking pirate coming off of a boat, and he's like, "Give me your money," and you're like, "I don't have any cash." He's like, "Don't worry, I've got a fucking chip and pin connected to my phone.
I got
You
Wi-Fi
just
in this
transfer it over, motherfucker."
bitch. Got a Starlink.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I went to KFC the other day, and even they didn't have Wi-Fi, but I can still imagine that being more likely.
Yeah.
How long is it going to be until at least you can get fucking internet on like the top of Kilimanjaro now?
I think that's just an excuse. I think that it's just because they want to be a cash-only business.
Yeah.
I think that's all it is.
Yeah. Sometimes they're like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll turn away all this business.
It's a lot easier to hide your taxes if you're a cash-only business.
That's true. That's what I would do.
It's a lot easier.
I think that's the only reason all the dealers do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason I could think of.
Honestly, like the amount of money that the government could be making if they legalised weed is just—it's insane. It's insane, man. And
Yeah.
they are still not fucking talking about it. They're still not mentioning it, even though they're growing it in this country to sell to other countries for medicinal use. And they're like, "Yeah, no, don't worry about it."
Yeah, stupid people really think that it's legal now because technically it is like for medical marijuana.
If you've
but
got a
it's
private
just-
doctor,
yeah, you need
and
a private
if you
doctor.
get
No
the right
one does.
prescription, and if you're willing to pay vastly more than it's worth,
Well, I don't know about that. It
it's
depends how
quite
they do
expensive.
it. I mean, it's $9.96 for a. That's just an NHS prescription, I assume. No, I don't know.
No, it's not NHS. It's got to be private.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. No, so I know NHS prescriptions are like
Oh, yeah,
$9.90
no,
now.
It's different to that.
Yeah, I didn't
Because
know
you're
it was
paying
different
for the
amounts.
amount. You're paying for the amount as if you were on the street, but you're
Yeah.
paying it at vastly marked up prices, and it's not as strong as the stuff that's on the street.
Well, yeah, it's going to be more CBD based and stuff.
Yeah, and it's not really the same stuff.
No.
You know, and that's the thing, is like ultimately like you're just finding new and interesting ways to edge towards what ultimately should have been done fucking years ago at this point.
What?
Just legalize it.
Oh yeah. Well,
Just
I think it's pretty fucking
legalize
obvious, man.
it.
That's
the,
not going to
the
happen.
country is in dire straits financially. There's a shitload of money being spent on something, and there's no tax being paid on it. Legalize it.
Yeah, but I mean, if they can
Legalise
make
it.
more money from exporting it, that argument don't work.
They can't.
How do you know?
Because the amount of it's not about that. It's about if you allowed everyone to grow it and sell it, you would be then getting all of the tax that is not currently being paid on the transactions that are already happening in the country. Billions and billions and billions of dollars of transactions.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, not everybody's going to go to the government though for a long time anyway. Even if they did legalise it.
Like you know the have you ever seen Layer Cake
I did a while ago.
with Daniel Craig?
Yeah.
There's a bit at the start of that where he goes like, when governments realise how much money there is in this, they'll legalise all of it. Not millions, fucking billions. And he's right.
Yeah.
If you legalised all the drugs and you had it fucking organised in a way where it was like, we get tax off of everything and we get tax equivalent to the amount of effort that is required to fix the shit when it goes wrong with this drug, like they do with tobacco and like they do with alcohol and things like that. They add the duty to it, right? That's the same thing you could do with literally every other drug.
Yeah,
you could
but-
then make sure that they were pure. You could then
Yeah,
make sure that
but-
they were effective. And then you could also make sure that they were able to be done in a safe environment.
That
and
doesn't
controlled.
change any of the argument, though. None of that changes the argument because
Yeah.
unless you can say, this is how much.
Oh, I
they're
don't think we're
earning-
anywhere near that. I think we're just talking about weed at the moment. But like,
Well, no, I mean just from weed anyway.
all right, yeah,
I'm saying this is exactly how much we get from exporting it, X amount.
yeah.
So,
Like, it's not that they can't keep exporting it. That's the thing. It's not like they no longer export.
well, maybe they're talking about like right now with the amount they can grow in regards to how much they can export or
no, it
sell
doesn't, because
domestically.
like they can export that all day long. Doesn't matter. They can keep exporting it. It's fine.
You're just saying they have to grow more then.
No, I'm just saying that then, if you legalise it across the board, all of the people who are doing these little grows across the country are now legal businesses. They have to declare their tax. They have to have like
They're not legal
inspections.
businesses yet. They'll have to go through a certain
No,
amount
but
of
they
things.
have to go
so
through
only
a
a small
process of
portion
change.
will.
But you know what I mean. But like the
Only
ones
a
that
small portion
the
will make
ones
it
that
through.
don't do it will be shut down,
Yeah.
and the ones that do it correctly will be allowed to continue running. And at that
There
point,
won't be, none of them will be allowed to continue running as they are now. Not a single one.
No, they'd all have to become legitimate businesses.
They'd have to.
They'd have to meet health and safety standards. They'd have to get tax reports.
They could only buy seeds from them or only buy plants from them.
They'd have to have HR departments.
Not necessarily, because you're talking more like farms.
No, but like for the big ones, you're gonna have to have
big
an
ones.
HR
Yeah.
department.
That's about how many people are in your business.
But like, there's all sorts of things like that. But ultimately, it would make jobs that no longer exist, that currently don't exist, rather.
But they care about the cold hard money.
That's what they keep talking about. They're like, oh, we need to make jobs. Well, literally, you've got a fucking industry that you can turn on like a switch overnight, and you're not willing to do it.
You can't do both at the same time.
You can.
How?
You can export to another country. The point is...
No, but I'm saying if you can... because that idea is nice, but it would take years and years and years to get anywhere near to the production amount.
It didn't take years and years and years to do it in Germany.
Maybe, well,
it's not the production amount. It's like, initially what you do is you're like, right, in the changeover, what we're going to do is we're going to say you're allowed to grow your own plants for, up to 3 plants for your own use continuously.
Yeah, like in Spain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can just do that. And what we're going to do in the meantime is if you want to apply to be a legitimate marijuana business, in the next 3 years you can apply, you can give us your business plan, you can give us all your safety standards and stuff that you're working to, you can tell us what you're using to spray onto your crops. It's going to be a gradual thing.
Yes, I know it'll take a few years, because before that as well, you've already got to introduce the legitimate
it's
routes
still,
that they
it's
can
still
get.
something that you can turn on like a switch.
No, hold on.
Yeah.
But before that, you still got to take like a couple of years to build it doesn't come instantly. You've got to build the production lines to be able to give those people the seeds, the plants to be able to grow them, because they would have to use their certified plants and seeds.
No,
that
they
would.
don't. No,
you know what the government's like, man.
That's only if the government forced that shit.
Like.
Yeah, but they don't have to do that.
But they will.
No, I know, but that's the point. What I'm saying is,
will.
if they didn't, if it was just like, look, just fucking...
Because then you're still going to be giving money to people outside. If you don't say where you've got to get the plants from and the seeds from, it can come from anywhere, which will only be the illegal people that they want to put out of business.
No, because then that's legitimised as well. Because at that point, what you do is you go like, right, okay, you know that you can get seeds brought in from other countries. What we're going to do is you just give us the fucking license that you've got to import it, grow from that.
Yeah, but I mean, if they
I'm saying like
if they're already bringing them from like Colombia.
Yeah, but this is still
this is only letting
this
you
is still
take them from France,
millions, if not billions and billions of revenue. It is just available, and it needs to be put into production as soon as possible for it to be effective.
Yeah, definitely, because it's not quick.
It is still a switch, but it's like it's not an immediate bulb. It's one of the fucking energy saver bulbs.
Okay, yeah, it's a switch. It's just a very long.
It's one of the ones where you turn it on, and then half an hour later it's reached full brightness.
I'll agree. I definitely agree with that.
You know what I mean? But it's one of those things that you can start literally just by going, okay, off we go.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely.
You know?
Yeah. Definitely.
And you can literally make an industry that will then produce billions and billions and billions that previously was just being funneled through fucking laundering to pay the bare minimum tax on it.
Yeah, the only thing I was saying was though, just from pure amount, straight away then I guess this is more of that kind of thing, is it's just hard to know without knowing, how much money they get for all this that they expend. Yeah. If they know, for example, that say for every gram, just, that they can get by exporting it, they know they can get £20.
Well, let's say, for example, right, what you're going to do is you're going to say, right, what you can do is you can sell, let's say you're doing a gram for a tenner. Pretty standard amount, right?
That's what I was just going to,
that's what I was doing, yeah. So, that's what I'm saying. I'm going from yours now. So we've got the gram for the tenner.
Well, is that for, what's that for, sorry? That domestic, or you want about exporting?
No, I'm talking if it was a domestic product.
Okay,
yeah. So you're selling it as a 1 gram for a tenner, and you can do deals on it later on if you want, just like they would otherwise.
Yeah, but the base
is like that around amount.
Okay, yeah.
And the government is just earning a percentage of the amount that you earn.
Yeah,
that's all. So that's from the business side. So say you sell, 1 gram to one person. That's £10.
Yeah.
£2 of that would probably go to the government. £2 of that would probably go to the all the other stuff that's required, like the
production and stuff.
The production, the enforcement, required to make sure that it was reaching quality standards.
Yeah. A certain amount would go to order and a certain amount would go
all
profit.
of the product that the packaging and stuff like that and all that kind of stuff.
Like only 20% of each one may be profit.
Yeah. So and the actual product itself is probably costing them, like £4 per gram. So yeah, you're not making a huge amount of profit on it, but it's still the same amount of profit that you'd probably be making from fucking selling it on the streets anyway, because you're usually you're usually buying it from someone else who's buying it from someone else and buying it from someone else. But at this point, now you've got a business and you've got multiple people working this business, and so
That's the same anyway.
and it's a big shop. You don't have to go into fucking weird places to do it, which means people just come in throughout the day. You're probably selling fucking, pounds and pounds and pounds of weed during the day.
You're saying there could be people basically that wouldn't bought it before in a
not even
non-legal thing that would now.
Not even that. It's like, how often have you been like, oh, I kind of want to get some weed, but like I can't really be fucked right now because it's like fucking such an effort, and I've got to fucking, not for you, but
Never.
because for me in where I am, I've sometimes had moments where dealers have gone like, oh yeah, no, we can get it to you now, and then it's like 2 days later.
Yeah. You've got a very different situation for that.
It's fucking difficult, man.
Yeah.
So like, if you've got like a place that's just on an industrial estate, nowhere near the rest of the high street, if you don't want it to be. We can go to our own little place. It doesn't matter, And you just sell it out of there. As I say, you're selling pounds and pounds of it. So it doesn't matter that you're not selling that much, because like you're selling kilograms of the shit. So you're making a good profit regardless.
You know what? A good basis actually to think about how it could just pop up in the time frame and that. Maybe a bit slower still, I think. Especially the conversion from going to the illegal ones to the legal ones. A bit longer. But it probably wouldn't be hugely different to the vape stores. Had they popped up everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. So many popped up, so many closed down, and the new ones popped up because it was so popular.
Yeah.
It still is.
Yeah.
Not as much now because of all
There's
this
certain
like things.
There's certain people who've made it a lifestyle.
Oh yeah, totally.
And they continue to make it a lifestyle.
Well, that's always been the same with Bud too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was totally one of those people. I still do to a certain point. I consider myself still a modern hippie.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, I just burnt myself when I said that. But like, I think that's got to be comparable to some point actually.
Like legit.
Probably
And
quicker than
also,
I think.
just look at Amsterdam.
Yeah.
It's such a good system.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot buy alcohol at the same place that you can buy weed.
Yeah.
But you can smoke your weed in a place that allows you to buy alcohol.
That'd be great. But I mean, because tobacco's different.
And you can sit in a place that allows you to buy weed and smoke weed there.
You know, one thing as well, though, actually talking about Bud, though, we'll get back onto that bit in a moment.
Yeah.
But like, I've read something recently that apparently these new studies into Bud that are saying that essentially Bud is as harmful to your lungs and stuff and your cardiovascular network as tobacco is.
I mean, no shit, doy. I'm smoking smoke.
Yeah, I wonder if that means though that
That's why I
people that have got
I
back
bought one
units.
of the vapes when I was doing it. Like
Yeah,
proper.
you did, didn't you?
And
Yeah, because of the clean. Just
I need
the Bud,
to
you
I
mean.
need to go back to that, to be honest, because if it's just it's so much, especially for my CBD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that-
CBD that's the only thing I do.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So is that what you mean though? You're on about like.
Yeah, I
the
want to get
vapes?
the vape thing again, because it.
The juice or like.
No. It's the one that you put herb in.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
bottom,
yeah,
The
yeah.
little oven,
Yeah.
and you just vape it through, and you feel a lot better for it.
Well, that's the thing I don't know from what they were saying though. It's kind of they implied that.
Yeah, but that's a different thing, because the vape juice stuff is a different thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
And
the vape
like-
juice. I
and
was on
also
about the vape
smoke
juice.
is a different thing, because
I was on about Bud.
smoke, what it does is it burns stuff, so it produces like little like oxidants, basically, free radicals and shit, where like something breaks
But you on about
down
an
or
open
burns
thing though,
down.
weren't you?
Yeah. The thing about this is though, it doesn't actually burn it. It
What?
gets it heated to a point where THC evaporates.
You on about for the juices?
No, this is for the oven. For the vape that I've got.
I mean, it's the same thing.
No, it's
You're
not.
cooking it,
No, it's not.
burning it.
No, it's not burning it.
So
It's
saying an oven and
it's
an air fryer
literally-
is different.
No, it's literally not burning it. It is not going to a high enough temperature to actually burn the matter. It is only going to a high enough temperature to evaporate the THC. So what it does...
I feel like it's wasting a lot of bud then.
No, it doesn't.
It
In fact, it does the opposite, because when you smoke a joint, you actually get around about, depending on the strain, 26 to about 38% of the actual amount of THC. Because most of it is burnt and destroyed before it actually gets to you. In a vape, you get almost, in some of the really good ones, up to about 80% of the THC. Because it's not actually burning it, it is just literally vaporizing the THC oils. No, trust me.
I don't.
Trust me, bro.
I need to see some.
Trust me,
I need
bro.
to see some. I
Trust
need to see
me,
some
bro.
paperwork on
Because
that.
THC,
I trust you think that.
THC oils, but like vaporize at a very specific heat. And they just
It's
literally, and they've got a little temperature in
Hotter?
there. Yeah, they've got a thing. No, it's not hotter than burning.
No,
it.
sorry. Bud. Sorry, burns hotter than tobacco.
It does, yeah. But it's not actually as hot as required to burn an actual joint. When you're burning an actual joint, it's going up to like 300, 400 degrees at some point when you inhale on it.
Yeah.
Because it's like pulling it in, making it hot. Whilst this vape
Which
is
is why I
literally
also
only
think, though,
staying at exactly that temperature.
Yeah,
exactly that temperature.
But I think because of how you breathe it in, though, because of that motion, it would stop it all from getting destroyed. Do you know what I mean? Because it's not like...
Unfortunately, it doesn't.
It gets to there, and then most of it would go... I don't buy that the vape would do better.
I've seen so many things like it, trust me. And also, like, I have found, legit, with the vape, before, when, like, you get really shitty smoke, and you, like, put it in, and you burn one down, and you're like, well... That's my weekend ruined, because that did nothing. You know what I mean? Like when you've had a really bad fucking, like, batch at some point.
Yeah, I expect it most of the time now, you know.
I find that on occasion, like... But with the vape, even the really shit stuff got you going. Even the really shit stuff.
Yeah. Did it burn away quicker, though? Because I know I've, like, any, like, bongs or anything like that, you know.
It literally lasts, because what you do is you do one rip on it at like 2 or 3 temperature, just to get it sort of nice and baking and cooking.
It's not going to do it.
And then once you've sort of got to the point where it's not doing that much vape anymore, you let it turn off. You sort of turn it upside down. You do a little swirl of it, because the top cap of it will still
where's
be
the
green.
burn? Is it on the bottom?
The oven is actually surrounding the little casing that you put it in.
Right, the whole outside, all of it.
So inside the bottom of the
bottom,
vape.
bottom, okay, yeah.
So like the oven's there. Around it is the heating element.
Okay, yeah.
That heats it up to the exact right temperature. It's got thermostats to make sure it's getting to the right temperature.
How much does this fucking thing cost in this case? It's got
£160.
thermostat. That makes that so much more sense. That makes so much more sense now
and
from the ones that I've
it
seen.
connects to your phone.
This might be this might be the disconnect from what I've seen. Okay,
Yeah.
So I would never even go to those level of ones like to look at. You know.
Yeah, bro. This isn't a £40 one. This is a pro level.
This makes
one.
so much more sense.
Because the vape,
okay.
I know what you're talking about. Those ones that
Yeah.
you can get, those are literally, they're just electric bongs. That's all they are.
It's essentially what I was thinking. we were talking about.
Different
yeah.
Different thing. Yeah.
Man, that seems like once you add in, like, you know, the price of that, though. I thought eventually, if you keep using it and using it, of course,
Oh, it totally
it will
works out,
save your, you know,
and
you'll save money
I stopped
eventually.
using tobacco entirely when I was on it.
Oh, of course, yes.
'Cause
You're
it's
gonna
just
save
like,
money.
why
I didn't
would I
even
have
put
tobacco?
that into it.
Yeah.
They're going to save money
And it
even
tasted
quicker.
delicious.
Yeah, I imagine it would.
Although it makes
pure.
you cough like a motherfucker.
Yeah, because you're getting it pure, and it's like when you have a bong.
100% pure.
Like when you have a bong, it's
It
even
is,
more.
it is honest the closest thing to a bong. It's still not as bad as a bong rip.
That sounds cool, though.
Bong rips are so good, though.
Yeah, but they are, but your bud goes so quick.
Yeah, but it's so good.
It is really good. It is. Especially if you're somebody that doesn't like, you know, it's so much easier for people that don't smoke normally to jump in on bongs than anything else. That's how I always used to.
That's trouble. That's asking for trouble. If you're not normally into it and you take a huge bong rip.
Don't take a huge bong hit.
Yeah, but that's the problem. These
you need
people,
your shephers.
You tell them, you're like, don't take a huge one. They're like, don't worry, I know what I'm doing.
No, you just...
And then they've just got that fucking that sound going on around their head for the rest of the night.
That's why you need to keep in control of it when there's people that don't know. You know, you put the amount in. You know what I mean? You put it in.
Yeah.
But it still happens though, man.
Yeah.
And especially if you forget.
That's why you get also the CBD only stuff. You mix a little bit of that in. It takes the edge off.
True. Because the body high, especially if you don't smoke all the time, you still know it's ass.
Yeah.
I sometimes like the body
And
high
literally,
more.
the CBD is the counteract of the THC. That is what it is.
What do you mean?
The CBD is the thing that protects you from the negative effect of THC.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you have a really high
Right.
THC but low CBD, like the skunk they used to have back in the day,
Right, yeah.
that was like the couch lock shit that wasn't necessarily that good for you, right?
Yeah, I've never been a fan of, as
Yeah.
you know, of full on.
Exactly.
Which one's that
The-
again? Salvia or indica?
That's the indica. Yeah, that's
Indica's
the fucking,
cheese.
that's the
yeah, okay, yeah.
Whilst the fucking
To get out, bud.
the sativa is usually higher in the CBDs, so it's got that little bit of, and it brings you up to that sort of like ooh level. You know what I mean? The sort of,
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm creative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've never thought about that. I mean, it makes perfect sense because most things have like counteracting.
Yeah.
So it's normally like separate things. Like you'd have like singing nettles growing over there,
Yeah.
and a dock leaf really nearby.
You know that's actually not true at all. It's just because dock leaves are wet when you scrub them on you.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah. If you literally just water your legs, same effect.
That can't be true. I have not buy that.
Yeah.
I have heard the so opposite of that.
Yeah. Same for do dock leaves
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
help stinging nettles.
Or is it just like, why do they always grow nearby, you say? Because it's just a wet area anyway. Do dock leaves, there you go. Help nettle stings. Well, it's can't believe that dock leaves can help with nettle stings. There's no scientific evidence to support the claim. It's likely a sleep birth. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So most leaves would do it, basically.
Simply washing the affected area with soap and water is more effective remedy. And I mean, to be fair, stinging nettles don't fucking hurt that much. Get over
Yeah.
them. You can squeeze a stinging nettle in
Literally,
your hand.
I used to wade through stinging nettles sometimes when I was out walking. for
Yeah,
ages.
they're really not that bad, are they?
They're not that
People
bad.
really
Once you
overdo
get
it.
used to it as well, you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, another one. All right. That'll be all right in half an hour.
The dock
It's also,
leaf
did you
sap has
know
a
that
cooling
stinging
effect.
nettle stings are supposedly good for stopping Alzheimer's in the long term?
A what?
Stinging nettle stings
Well, I don't stinging nettles in general.
will delay Alzheimer's if you get a lot of stinging nettle stings.
I know the stinging nettles like because they put them into like teas and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Can do like a lot of things. I'm
Yeah,
guessing
yeah.
it's that kind of. That's how you figure out like that kind of shit.
But
and
that's
it-
like the hypodermic injection of it. That's getting the pure shit, mate.
I suppose, yeah. But you need a lot though, wouldn't you? Surely.
I got a lot.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, to be fair, looking at it though, like the idea that some of the sap on it could have a cooling effect.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
But I know what you mean. It's not a direct
The soap
link.
and water is still technically the best way of doing it because
Yeah, yeah.
like soap
Or aloe
denatures
vera.
things as well.
Aloe vera's probably
Mhm.
better then.
Mm.
Like your
Anything cooling or relaxing.
yeah,
Like that. Yeah.
like your
Don't put fucking menthol stuff on it.
but like your
Don't get one of those fucking shower gels or whatever that fucking burns you when you put it on your balls.
after sun. That's what you
Oh,
want.
yeah,
After
after
sun's
sun.
the shit, man.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. There you go. I'm glad I checked that because I
Told
did
you,
not
bro.
believe you then.
Told you, bro. I'm
What
a
leaf
font
gets
of
rid of-
knowledge.
Well, fonts lose a lot of their water though, unfortunately.
Well, that's not my fault, is it?
You need to plug the sink up, okay?
Yeah.
But make sure you don't let it overflow. Because that can be bad too.
That can be bad.
I think that's when you have a stroke. I may be simplifying.
Fucking hell. Oh dear.
Oh, I might be wrong. I don't know. I did not realise until recently how many people still believe that the Trump assassination was staged.
Yeah, I know.
It's still a huge thing on Reddit
I
and
know,
that.
yeah.
It's quite amazing that people legit think that. I didn't realise that
Like-
there was apparently loads of bullets as well that were shot there. I
They
thought it
shot a
was-
few, yeah, they shot like 4 or 5.
I swear I read more than that, but I can't remember now. But I'd never heard that before until this one I was watching, so I was like, maybe that one. Because I thought it was more like 4 or 5.
Firing as well, I don't know.
Maybe. Because he was talking about, like how these people that talk about it as well just say it like it's such a fact.
Yeah.
Like, of course it did. Of course. It's
Of
so
course
obvious
it was
because
staged.
not only did they pull him down, but they pulled him up so that the shooter could see.
Oh,
Ignoring the fact that by then the police, I think, had already shot him.
yeah.
But they didn't know there wasn't another one, sure. No. But yes, I mean, one thing we can
They're just
definitely
grabbing
agree.
him and moving him. That's all they're doing.
One thing we can definitely agree to is that the Secret Service is hot shit.
They were shit there, yeah.
Every time they're shit, man. Every time they drop the ball.
Yeah.
I think that's what the Secret Service problem is most of the
Yeah,
time.
it is, yeah.
JFK,
Yeah.
I mean, I think there might have been shady stuff, but I think as far as the Secret Service go, I think there might have just been shit.
Yeah.
Even if what I was thinking is true, that the guy in the car behind with the big gun shot JFK to give him the kill shot.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no. It was... No, that can't be right. Actually, it comes from the front, so it must have been from the car in front. Yeah, the kill shot that exploded his head.
Oh right.
Inarguably, they always say comes from behind because it would have been Lee Harvey Oswald, because both the 3 shots that he took on JFK,
Yeah.
where when the car had already gone past him, so he was shooting towards the back of his head.
Yeah.
Even though he hadn't needed a shot before, but
Yeah.
he was shooting towards the back of the head. Even though it's obvious in the Zapruder film that when he has the last shot, which is the kill shot to his head, that kind of blew his head apart, or that it came from in front.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that they have fully confirmed now.
Yeah.
With all the new, all the stuff that was coming out, all the new documents and shit.
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
Yeah. They've said now that there is no way that it was one shooter.
So there was definitely more than one.
There was more than one shooter. But the amount of shots from the way they reacted...
I wonder if it was from the grassy knoll.
There was 3 shooters from what I've seen.
I still like the idea.
One grassy knoll and one... I don't know.
I still like the
side.
idea of doing a movie about the JFK assassination where there's 3 separate assassins trying to shoot him for 3 completely separate reasons and none of them realise. And they all go home and sort of take the fucking credit for themselves or whatever.
Yeah. The fuck did just not... There you go. New JFK shooters evidence. Okay. Oh, that's not new shit. What the hell? Diagram.
That's that. Oh shit. That's that. Oh shit. That's that old school shit. You know.
Okay. I don't think that's a new one, unfortunately. No, that's not the new one. I swear though, from looking at that, I swear from what I saw, one was here and one was here.
Yeah.
Because it's just going by the amount of shots, the stuff you can see. I mean, they already know that the amount of shots that he shot does not fit the physical evidence. They knew that anyway.
Yeah.
But now it's just saying about all these other shooters. Wait, I'm not sure. I'll try and find it for next time anyway, the actual diagrams. I know they're here. I saw them on something. It's just quite interesting with all the new stuff that's coming out in that. And witnesses that were never talked to.
Yeah.
That saw it all, Yeah. Just it's just blatantly obvious. All the stuff in the Wire Commission, they just fully hid that because it was just easier.
Yeah.
This is the only reason. It was much easier for them to hide it.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Because again, there's less cameras.
Oh yeah, it was easier to do that
Yeah.
shit back then, 100%.
Way less cameras.
Oh yeah, it fits into the other thing we're talking about actually,
Yeah.
yeah. Like the other one I was going to talk about today, which we'll save for a future one of course now, was the Oslo woman. Have you ever heard of that? I'll give you a brief little thing, The Oslo woman was a woman that died in a hotel, but before she died, a security guard, they hadn't paid anything for like 3 days that had been there. It was a high-priced hotel. So they did like a TV warning. They got turned off, to say, come and pay your shit.
Yeah.
And eventually the security guard went up, and as he got to the door, a gunshot went off inside it. Well, a kerfuffle and then a gunshot.
Right.
And he was like, oh, and then ran away.
Right, well, you would, yeah.
But then ran back, straight away, and went into the room, and he was locked from the inside, and you can see from, because it wasn't that long ago, you can see from, like, it keeps track of people going in and out, and it had been locked from the inside, basically, no one had come out. And you got camera from the outside as well, recording the whole way. No one had been out of the room, and yet when they went in, she was dead, with like a gunshot wound to the head. She was holding the gun in her hand. It was like the wrong way around. It was just full of really weird evidence, though. Like she had all of her labels cut out of her clothes. The food she ordered like a day before was still next to it, her half-eaten. But when they checked it out, she'd only died a few hours before. Yet that food had only just been eaten, so she waited like 22 hours to eat the food. It was just a plate of food as well. It wasn't like crisps.
She sounds like somebody's had a really bad mental breakdown.
Yeah, but she had like money. She was doing all this. She was doing smart shit as well, though. She was hiding shit. But this happened kind of a lot, though, when it comes to people taking labels out of their thing. There is more, and I'm just forgetting it. That's what they talk about with spies all the time. Very much, like the only thing she had that didn't have the label taken out It had no damage done to it, but they said that if the label for this coat was taken out,
Yeah.
it would have destroyed like the coat itself, the lining. So they had to keep it there, and that's the only one that didn't have anything taken out.
Yeah.
There's so much weird shit to it, though. There's a
Well,
whole.
yeah, we'll have to do a deep dive on that one. It's
Yeah.
interesting.
I've got all the things. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
we didn't have enough time for it
Yeah,
today.
yeah.
What was the other thing? There's something even more to it.
Ah.
That's gone on my head then. I had it then for a second and it's gone again.
Right. Well, I don't know. I don't know what to say to that. Apart from I want to know more when we get to it. That's going to be a good one.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
still don't know who the woman's name is or anything.
Yeah.
They never figured out who she was.
Yeah.
They think, like you'd think, because this wasn't like, this is like, like a decade kind of ago kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, they should have been able to figure out who it was and stuff,
Yeah.
But no. So that's always kind of a weird thing as well. When it's someone, I think they found that she was German from ancestry. Yeah, she was German from ancestry.
Could be East Russia, East Germany.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything, does it? Because even if you got German heritage, it means nothing as to where you actually grew up.
Yeah, no.
I mean, look at me. They look at me and you'll be like, you grew up in Nordic land and over there with them Germans.
It
And
does
it's like,
seem
nah,
like it,
blood,
yeah.
I was like, nah, here in London and Birmingham.
That is not. That is not. Not.
What are you talking about? It's my voice, yeah. I'm sure the audio could hear that. That was a
I'm
chef.
just doing it. I'm doing an office look.
An office look. Oh, okay. The show.
Yeah.
Yeah. And ironically, it is also kind of the look you might get in an office.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like they planned it on that, actually, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why we need our own cameras, look. So you can have one over there that you
Yeah.
can turn to and be like,
Just like, can you believe this bitch?
we need a hard, we need like in wrestling, man. We need a hard cam in the middle to
Yeah.
pick everything up and then our own cameras to react to.
That's a good idea.
That'd be great.
It's a great idea.
The problem is that you couldn't have it over there because I always do this kind of shit. I
Yeah.
feel like I'd get in the way.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you turn and react like that, it's even more of a thing. It's more comedy.
Yeah.
If I just, if I'm talking to the
Because then
hard
it's
camera,
like
then I go,
I'm looking to my audience. Over
Yeah.
Here. Yeah.
exactly, you're looking back towards your
Yeah,
audience.
yeah.
It feels more
Yeah.
involved.
It's more personal.
yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's exactly
It's
it. Yeah.
inviting the viewer in. Yeah.
See, very few people would understand what the hell I was getting at.
Yeah, no,
there.
it is. It's inviting the viewer in. Because you're leaning into the viewer. You're not leaning
Yeah.
away from the viewer. You're leaning into the viewer.
That's the way it works.
That's the way it works, man. That's good shit.
It would be cool.
That's the way I'd do
Eventually
it.
we can do it.
Yeah, that's the way we're going to do it, yeah.
I figured out like so many more things as well that I didn't realise. Like I don't think we were fully doing stuff on Apple completely. I don't know.
Right.
And I think if we pay this thing, like, which when I get money we should look at, $17.99 for a year. So that's like what, £9 each.
That's not bad.
Then we get like a year of Apple subscriptions, which from what I've read should push it up a bit more to,
Mm. Okay. Yeah.
And I need to have a look if I don't know if all the things are coming through on that RSS thing.
Yeah.
Because now I've seen you can actually track it on each website separately. I'm going to have a little look-see.
Yeah, double check it.
I don't trust any of them, to be honest, though.
Yeah. But for now, unfortunately, I'm going to have to start getting going.
No, that's fine. Like I said, we don't have to hit the fucking 2
No,
hours.
we
man.
don't.
It
No,
matter.
exactly. It's been a good fun one though.
Oh, yeah.
Like we've talked many a subject.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it when we have like a slight disagreement about something.
Oh yeah.
Because I think you only do it when you're more comfortable after a bit.
Yeah.
Because I know at first I wasn't comfortable enough to just straight up disagree with you. But
Yeah. No,
disagree with
you're
something.
allowed to disagree with whatever the fuck you want to disagree with.
But you're not always comfortable with people to do it, though.
Yeah. No.
Like
No.
for me, if I'm just, well, no, I disagree with somebody, but at the same time, it's more like,
Gentle disagreement.
yeah,
Yeah.
more well.
I see what you're saying.
No, not gentle disagreement. Not gentle disagreement when I
no.
disagree with somebody that I'm comfortable with.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't fucking
No,
agree
no,
with
that's
that.
a different thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more gentle disagreeing when you.
Yeah, when you
you're
don't
not
know the
fucking
person.
standing there saying no, you're a fucking dickhead. You're wrong.
Yeah, you're a fucking idiot. That doesn't work like that. And
That's a
then,
bit much.
yeah, no. When you can say you're a
But-
fucking idiot to a mate, that's when it's a proper mate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
that's
fucking right about the
You're being
Dockleys,
fucking
though.
stupid about that. Oh right, yeah. All right.
You're right about the Dockleys, so straight up, I was fucking wrong about that.
Yeah, I did.
That's amazing, that is.
Oh, it was one of those things where I thought it was that way for ages, and then someone said, "No, it's not. Check it out." And I was like, "What?" Oh,
There's so many things like that, isn't there? Like that's
Yeah.
another one we could do. Like, did we do it before? Like old wives' tale.
We've done one before that was a different one, but I think we could do that again.
Yeah, we could definitely do more.
There's more.
Yeah, 100%.
There's so many more. There's other countries worth of more as well.
Yeah. You want to expand, yeah?
I had an idea for a show. I'm going to end on this.
Go on then.
I had an idea for a show, right? I thought it would be cool to do.
Hmm.
It's like a YouTube thing where you just like you do like a news show weekly, but you just like roll a dice to find out which fucking like country you're doing the news reports of. So it's like, this is the news from Kazakhstan. This is the news from Uzbekistan. This is the news from America. This is the news from China. You know?
Yeah?
Just the headlines and shit of that week. Just give you a little bit of a taste of different news, you know?
And maybe do a few, and every time you have to dress up.
Yeah, that seems like
with a green screen behind you.
That seems like it's going to be problematic.
Oh man, I'm not saying dress up your skin colour. You can leave the skin colour. I'll let you leave that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Well, to be fair, as long as you use fake tan, apparently it's acceptable.
Fake tan ain't acceptable no matter what situation.
Well, no, not to us. Okay, yeah. Not to us.
I'm never wearing a fake tan.
But to the people.
Yeah.
To the everyday people.
Never wear fake tan. And
yeah, burn yourself and get cancer.
That's right. And on that note, that's been Squishy Logic for this week. Thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed learning about a crazy murder that no one solved because someone couldn't be bothered.
No one solved it, but at the same time, I think we
came up with a pretty reasonable fucking option of how this went down.
Yeah. And no lie, I've been reading this like online and that, and I haven't seen many like opinions on how it could have gone down. It's almost like people want it to be an impossible thing. Like the odd comment that might mention something.
You know why, mate? Because on Squishy Logic, we are like Sherlock fucking Holmes, right? We go, man. If you remove the impossible, whatever's left, no matter how improbable, must be the truth.
And must be squishy.
And therefore, always be logical.
Au revoir. We should dress up as Sherlock Holmes one episode, actually.
We fucking should.
I fuck that, actually. I'll do a sexy Sherlock Holmes.
We'll both be Sherlock Holmes as well. That's the thing. There won't be a Watson. It's double Sherlock.
No, we will have a Watson. We'll both have our own strap on us. Called Watson.
I'm going to have a puppet called Watson. You can do whatever you want for your Watson.
Dr. Watson.
Dr. Watson.
Let me check out your insides.